MusicMediaLounge.com. MusicMediaLounge.com. Online radio.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Bang, 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 bang.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Bang, 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 bang.
Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown, that be down for whatever. There were few things that's forever. My lady, we can make war or make babies. Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something.
Peace, check.
To this day, boo, no frontin'. Even when the skies were gray.
We just rolling in.
Say maybe it'll be okay. Now that's real.
You know what it is, man. Get Time Party Podcast. Make sure.
Get my cootie away.
I'm your boy, Super Blaze.
And I'ma walk these doors so we can live. In a fat ass crib with thousands of kids. Well, like, you don't need a ring.
Inside the campaign, make sure you know what it is, man.
And I'ma make
We just rolling in. Shout to Love on Purpose. What up, mama?
I'm realizing that you didn't have to funk with me, but you did. Now I'm going.
You know what it is, man. Little 90s R&B. Come on. Let's go. We got Lee Cummings in the building tonight. Go ahead and hit that like button real quick. Subscribe, share. Send this bad boy to somebody tonight. Come on, man. Let's get to 1,000 real quick. You know what it is. It's the humbleness, man. Let's do it.
Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel.
What you call this shit? The organic show.
Queen with that be down for whatever.
This is organic.
Two things that's forever.
We just flowing.
We can make war or make.
You know what I mean?
Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something. That's why I'm with you to this day, boo, no frontin'. Even when the skies were gray, you would rub me on my back and say maybe it'll be okay. Now that's real to a brother like me, baby. Never ever give my cootie away. Keep it tight, alright? And I'ma walk these doors so we can live. In a fat ass crib with thousands of kids. Well, like, you don't need a ring to be my wife. Just be there for me and I'ma make sure we be living in the effing lap of luxury. I'm realizing that you didn't have to funk with me, but you did. Now I'm going all out, kid, and I got mad love to give you, my nigga.
Sweet morning dew, I took one look at you, and it was plain to see you are my destiny. With you, I spend my time. I'll dedicate my life. I'll sacrifice to you. Dedicate my life to you.
I gotta love Jones for your body and your skin tone. 5 minutes alone, I'm already on the road. Plus, I love the fact you got a mind of your own. No need to shop around, you got the good stuff at home. Even if I'm locked up north, you in the world rocking 3/4 of cloth, never showing you stuff or boo. It be true, me for you, that's how it is. I be your Noah, you be my Wiz, I'm your mister, you my missus. With hugs and kisses, Valentine cards and birthday wishes. We on another level of planning, of understanding the bond.
Check.
Celebration, cause we above all that romance crap. This shit
was my joint right here back in the day. Let me tell you. Shout out to all my 90s babies. You know what it is, man.
Don't stop.
That's that era right now.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze. That's in the mix.
Fire! Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
You know what it is, man. Tap in, like, subscribe, share. Send this bad boy to somebody tonight.
I'm making short-term goals when the weather falls. Yes, put away the leathers and put ice on the gold. Chilly with enough bail money to free a big Willie. High stakes, I got more at stake than Philly. Shopping sprees, copping 3 Deuce fever, yeses, fully loaded, yes. Bouncing in the Lex Luger, tire smoke like Buddha. 50 G's to the crap shooter. Niggas can't fade me. Chrome socks beaming through my peripheral. I see you scheming. Stop dreaming, I leave your body steaming. Niggas is fiending, what's the meaning? I'm leaning on any nigga intervening with the sound of my money machining. My cup runneth over with hundreds. I'm one of the best niggas that done it. 6 digits and running, y'all niggas don't want it. I got the Godfather flow, the Don Juan, the Marco. Swear to God, don't get it fucked up.
Taking out this time to give you peace of my mind.
Cause you can't knock the hustle.
But do you think you are?
Damn.
Baby, one day you'll be a star.
That scene out of state where I drop my sling. I'm deep in the south, kicking up top game. Bouncing on the highway, switching 4 lanes. Screaming through the sunroof, money ain't a thing. The worst fear confirmed. Me and my fam roll tight like the firm. Getting down for life, right? You better learn. Why I play with fire, you burn. We get together like a choir, to acquire what we desire. We do dirt like worms, produce G's like sperm. Till it spread like germs. I got extensive hoes with expensive clothes. And I sip fine wines and spit vintage flows. But y'all know, yeah. Cause you can't knock the hustle.
Trying to tell me they think I'm the one who's crazy. But that's the way you're making me feel.
You can't knock the
I'm
hustle.
just trying to get mine. I don't have the time to knock the hustle for real.
Yeah, y'all niggas lunching, punching the clock. My function is to make munch and lay back munching. Sipping Remy on the rocks, my crew. Something to watch, nothing to stop. Unstoppable, scheme on the ice. I gotta hot your crew. I gotta let you niggas know the time like my bottle. My motto, stack rocks like Colorado. Out off the champagne, crystals by the bottle. It's a damn shame what you're not though. Me, slick like a gato, fucking Jay-Z. My pops knew exactly what he did when he made me. Try to get a nut and he got a nut and what? Straight bananas, can a nigga see me? Got the US Open, advantage jigger. Serve like Sampras, play fake rappers like a campus. With Tigra, son, you're too eager. You ain't having it, good, me either. Let's get together and make this whole world believers, huh? Admire raiment, screaming. All us blacks got is sports and entertainment. Until we even leaving, as long as I'm breathing. Can't knock the way a nigga eating. Fuck you even.
Taking out this time to give you a piece of my mind.
It's one of them joints right here. I can't even mix it.
But do you think you
Just
are?
gotta play it to the end, you know what I mean?
Baby, one day you'll
Go ahead and enjoy the show. You know what it is, man. Can't knock the hustle. Welcome to the Autonomous Party Podcast. And make sure, man, this is how we get down over on this side, all right? You know what it is, man. We got special guest tonight, Lee Cummings. Negro question, you know what it is. Step into our world, man. The Autonomous Party, you know what it is. Super Blaze Sugar Campaign. Shout to Mac Ether, Gotta Green, you know what it is. Baron P, what up?
Yes, y'all, you don't stop. KRS-One, rock on. Yes, y'all, you don't stop. KRS-One, rock on. I'm about to hit you with that traditional style of cold rocking, giving options for head knocking, non-stopping. Tip-topping, lyrics be dropping, but styles can be forgotten. So we bring back the raw hip-hopping, just like the records and tapes you be copping. Cop some breakdancing, boogie popping and locking. Tick-tocking, guaranteed to have you clocking. We only get better and only better we have gotten. This type of flow, don't even think about stopping. Beware, the length of the rhyme flow can be shocking. All music lovers.
You know what it is, man. I'm always digging in the crates, you know what I mean?
The KRS got down. Yo, I'm strictly about skills and dope.
Just featuring some songs from yesterday.
Talent, not marketing and promotion. If a dope lyrical flow is a must, you got to go with the name you can quickly trust. I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Stop wasting your money on marketing schemes and printing packages, pushing dreams to the fiends. A dope MC is a dope MC. With or without a record
baby, I like it raw. Bang, bang, yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw.
Fire!
Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Shimmy, shimmy, y'all, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Off on the natural charge, bon voyage. Yeah, I'm the home of dog, Brooklyn quad. Wu-Tang Killer, beats on the score. Rain on your college ass, let's go on. When you didn't even touch my skill, you gotta go to one killer bee, and he ain't gonna kill now. Chop that down, pass it all around. Lyrics get hard quick, she back to the ground. For any MC and any 52 states, I get psycho. Killer, Norman Bates, my producer slam. My flow is like bam, jump on stage, I've been a dip there.
Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze. It's in the mix.
Your ear, so I be sublime. It's enjoyable to know you in concubines. Niggas, take off your coats. Ladies act like gems. Sit down, Indian styles, you recite these hymns. See, lyrically, I'm Mario Andretti on the Momo. Ludicrously speedy or infectious with the slow-mo. Heard me in the 80s, JV's on the promo. Him, I never in the quest to get the paper on the caper. But now, let me take it to the Queen side. I'm taking it to Brooklyn side. All the residential questions who invade the air. Hold up a second, son, cause we almost there. You could be a black man and lose all your soul. You could be white and blue, but don't prep the road. See, my shit is universal if you got knowledge of Dolo or Del myself. See, there's no one else who could drop it on the angle. They're cute at that. So do that, do that, do that, that. Come on. Do that, do that, do that, that. Yeah. Do that, do that, do that, that. I'm bugging out, but let me get back cause I'm wetting niggas. So run and tell the others cause we are the brothers. I learned how to build lights.
Shout out to Anthony Marie. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Let's not make it the last.
Mercy. Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Big truck, a man's rolling in town. How you do? How you do? I got the joint to make you jump because I'm heading eastbound. Tired of the merry-go-round and around. And everybody's talking about your stuff funny, but they're still telling lies to me. I got the trees in my backyard, and it's hard for them to tell a lie to me. And who's the foot? I'm the foot, but who's stepping? You know where I'm stepping. Skirts play with it cause I'm slick like that. I'm the greatest MC in the world. You got to give me mine cause I'm heavy when I weigh it. Watch the way I say it. Ego trip. I changed my pitch up, smack my bitch up, I never did it. The flavor's being bucked, but brothers ain't getting it. Get it? Or else you're a goner. When I rolls over, you're gonna have to wanna lamb. Cause it's the Chattanooga champ. Taking a train, taking a train, taking a train, taking a train.
Now I'm something like a phenomenon. I'm something like a phenomenon. Well, I'm the hourglass cat, drug it out of jack.
For chill.
Cause I still the phenomenon. Pack the holes in my lawn. Got girls in my song. Word is born. I'm a living phenomenon. Well, I'm a better brand. Cause I'm a Superman. I run the block with my circle cause I'm Nubian. I got the platinum rust. So don't even fuss. It's DJ Paul. Now with us. Now people take my style for a joke. I don't sass. So brass, I put the foot up your ass. Sometimes I fast, won't off like a seal.
When they reminisce over you.
For real. Mace chopped the record down to the bone. And now Renee King is on my telephone. But I got the ring, ha, ha, hey, hey.
Cause this type of shit happens every day.
I got the McNair connection, so my import stuff. Word, I'm up. Cause I'm so fly.
Yes, on and on. I'm in like river, drive my yacht. I got deals like Johnny. Sell that 7L. We're good for ya. Bigger than bigs. Dig it. I dug it. Ways that amazes popes. I am the is equals is cause it's caught up when the tide taught me the ropes. No waits for the bait. Man, I give you 4. Alright, you got it, it's special. With a dab of toe tapper when a lot's going on. And ain't a damn thing happening. The answer to the riddle is me. And here's the question: who could be? Who could be? Who could be? Nice. Who could be? Beautiful. Who could be? Word. Who could be?
Me be the Jericho Turnpike Band. Best competition, try to keep my way. I say the song you never heard before. I keep the famine in the mind. So mind your manners, baby. I run a line on you. Lay you on the springs and stick. More than in the condom, cause I be a tight
Hey, round up the Passy Fuji coming from the way.
Bang, bang, DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
A cheaper, y'all. Well, I'm a Libra, y'all.
Like I said, baby, in the crates, you know what I mean?
Cheaper, y'all. Well, I'm a Libra, y'all.
Lower drop from the Fugees. You nappy heads, you know what it is.
I bring commandment like I was king. In all your dreams, I write the horror flick of Stephen King. Cling the faults on those in favor, say I got tired of the fat lady, so I sing to my own opera. Balang, balang, balang to the man in Rikers Island. If you live by the sun, you will be die by the gun. Cause all guys tell lies and 4 girls commit sin. I was ordered the code red, but now I'm chilling with a few good men. Assassination on the kid from the capital. I never played a soap opera, but now I'm in general hospital. Condition critical, spirit overrules the physical. So if I die, catch me at the funeral. I'll fly away, oh glory. With the mic in my hand to a land where only God knows me. And the angels write raps on holy paper. I said I'm looking for Jesus. He said take the escalator 1 flight up. It's guaranteed you'll be there. My sister be there, my mother be there. So Mona Lisa, could I get a date on Friday? And if you're busy, I wouldn't mind taking Saturday. Hey, round up the Passy Fuji coming around the way.
I don't puff blood, so I always got my breath. Never had to battle with a bulletproof vest. They call me cockweaver, but I still kick chest. I know a Jerry girl, cause I'm not from the West. No disrespect to the West, true indeed. I rock it to the East is the sea. The sea to them days back, yo, sheepskins and hot tracks. Peace to Mr. Magic, things are getting tragic. Now we on some stuff, never fit the clue. My own plan is acting up, I'm left on the fifth floor. The cool to do, kids are acting, ooh, and it's getting better. Yo, where's the corporate at? I missed the 3-piece suit. Check the square root, your bones, and Timberland boots. Nah, that's the surface. And know the bum boots, I got a head full of problems in the hand, full of nappy root. I feel it Jones coming down, yo, I
got the slang to make the chitty bang, bang, the ring dang, the dang, the nappy head brain.
No, I got the slang to make it chitty bang, bang, your red dang, the dang, the nappy heads bang.
Yo, Mona Lisa, could I get a date on Friday? If you're busy, I wouldn't mind taking Saturday. Hey, round up the Passy Fuji coming around the way. Hey, nappy head. Don't live without going.
Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Dave, drop a load on him.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
OPP, how can I explain it? I take it frame by frame it. To have y'all on jumping, shouting, saying it. O is for other, P is for people scratching the temple. The last P, well, that's not that simple. It's sort of like another way to call it that a kid. It's 5 little letters that are missing here. You get it on occasion if the other party isn't gaming. This seems I gotta start to explain it. What the, you ever had a girl better on a night alone? Think it out my number, then let her in my low.
We was just talking about this, bro.
What you wanna know about? Do you call up and it's a girlfriend's or a cousin's house? It's not a front, a F to the R to the O to the N to the T. It's just a boyfriend's at a house. Oh, that's what she's hearing. It's OPP, time other people's, but you get it. There's no room for relationships, it's just room to hit it. How many brothers out there know this what I'm getting at? Who think it's wrong cause I was splitting and co-hitting that? Well, if you do, that's OPP and you're not down with it. But if you don't, here's your membership. Get down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. Get down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. Get down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP? Get down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. Get down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. Get down with OPP. Yeah, you know me. Who's down with OPP?
to my Jersey family. What up?
But you never look my way. Licking down your darling in every single way. Your funny flow is foreign and the green comes on the way. This ain't got nothing to do with shampoo, but watch your head and shoulder. Brother, older, bold enough to vulture, yo, I told ya. Afraid of what I made and played and plus a boogie bit. So say you flipped and trick. Put that music in the monkey bit. Triggers from the good town, ill town. Some ass out with feels now. The deal is that we're real, so we still around. Don't lamp with a freestyle phantom. Ain't trying to be handsome. Tricking what you're thinking, cause I'm vamping. I live in top of hip hop. This is hip hop of the day. I give props to hip hop, so hip hop parade. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hip hop parade. Oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh.
Yeah, you listening to Super Play. Let's go.
Bang, bang, bang. Hit you with no delays of what you saying, yo. Silly with my 9 milli with the dilly, yo. When I be on the mic, yes, I do my duty, yo. While up in the club like we while in the studio. You don't want to vibe, nigga, really and truly, yo. My main thug, nigga named Julio, he moody, yo. Type of nigga that'll slap you with the two, yo. Bitch, nigga scared to death, act fruity, yo. Fuck that, look at shorty, she a little cutie, yo. The way shake it make me want to get all in the booty, yo. Top mistress, the banging bitches and videos. While I'm with my freak like we up at the freak shows. You with the shit make you feel it all in your toes. Hot shit, got all you niggas in wet clothes. Style like my metaphors when I form my flows. If you don't know, you fucking with lyrical player pros like that. You wanna party with me? Let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands on my eyes to see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands on my eyes to see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, ain't all we trust. Yo, it's a must that you heard of us, yo, we murder us. A lot of niggas is wondering and they curious. How me and my niggas do it is so mysterious. Furious, all of my niggas is serious. Shook niggas be walking around fearing us. Front nigga like you don't wanna be hearing us. Gotta listen to how radio be playing us. 30 times I think shit to make you delirious. Damaging everything all up in your areas. Yo, it's funny how all the chickens be always serving us. All up in between the ass when they wanna carry us. Hit you good, then I hit them off with the alias. Various chickens, they wanna marry us. Yo, it's flip mode, my nigga, you know we bout to bust. 7-figure money, the label preparing us. Fight the dust instead of you making the fuss. Niggas know better cause there ain't no competing us. Mad at us, niggas is never we fabulous. Hit my people off with the flow, that be marvelous. Oh shit, my whole clique victorious. Taking no prisoners, niggas is straight up warriors. Why you feeling that? I know you be feeling so glorious. Then I blitz and reminisce on my nigga notorious. You really wanna party like that, that's what you got for me. Put all your hands on my eyes to see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be. If you really wanna party with me, let me see just what you got for me. Put all your hands with my eyes to see. Straight buck wildin' in the place to be.
I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. I'm the quiet storm nigga who fight rhyme. P, yeah, you heard of him, but I ain't concerned with them. Nigga, I pop more guns than you holding them. Make my bang, bang, bang. I put my lifetime in between the paper's lines. I'm the quiet storm nigga who fight rhyme. P, yeah, you heard of him, but I ain't concerned with them. Nigga, I pop more guns than you holding them. Make my route while the sun's out and scold your men. Unload 10 in broad daylight, get right. Fuck your life. Hop on my 98 dirt bike. You try to stop mines from growing. I make your blood stop flowing. Take affirmative action to any ass if he asking. Now here come the Mac 10. Use a dick blower. Trying to speak the done language. What the drilly with that though? It ain't banging. You hooked on Marphonics. Infamous Bonics. Lying to the pop dog like you got it. You ain't no wildin' out for the night. Fist thrower. Rusty Shank Cola. We live this shit.
Feel shit, lumping at the club shit. Have you out and out when you bump this? Drugs in your eardrum, the raw uncut. Have a nigga OD, cause it's never enough. It's the real shit to make him feel shit. Lump him in the club shit. Have you out and out when you bump this? Drugs in your eardrum, the raw uncut. Have a nigga OD, cause it's never enough.
Yo, the P-Rock 40-inch cables. Drinking white label. My chain hang down on my dick. My piece bang glass tables. Diamonds and guns before the fame, Duke. A nigga like me hold text. Are you the same too? Going through the emotions. A gun holding.
Long shotguns down my pants leg limping. Killer B, you still living. Even my pops too, he taught me how to shoot when I was 7. I used to butt shots crazy. I couldn't even look because the loud sound used to scare me. I love my pops for that. I love my niggas.
Let's go, baby.
Take the life of anybody trying to change what's left. And through all of
Let me get one request from anybody real quick.
all y'all brand new niggas
Just got the old school before we turn it over real quick. You know what I mean?
sniffing coke, getting right, wasting my life. Now I'm trying to make things right. Grand open some gates, invest with the bag business, do things for the kids. A little done.
You want to hear anything from the 90s real quick?
So they can enjoy youth, CBRs and VCRs.
Let me know real quick before I switch it up.
Screen
Let's go.
TVs, nigga, please. Don't make me have to risk.
Campaign Make Super Blaze. That's how was Party Podcast. Big Show. You know what it is, man. Let's go, baby.
Cause it's the real shit to make you feel shit. Lump them in the club shit. Have you out and out when you bump this. Drugs in your eardrum, the raw uncut. Have a nigga OD cause it's never enough.
It go 1, 2, 3 to the 4th. That nigga P double got that shit for y'all. People's the rock suit, stirring up pots of brew. In Hell's Kitchen, I chef the impossible. To serve hot plates all across the unified states. Sit down and sup with the top rap reps. We the streets just watching boy move diligent. You better walk like the nigga on the tightrope do. Infamous 1st Infantry, 1st Division, 4th Mission. First assignment, give them that shit they been missing. My new additions, way bitching. Those that listen, get addicted to my diction. Fuck rhymes, I write descriptions. For your disease, generic raps, just not potent like peas. 1,100 cc's on the throttle. I peel off, chest naked on katanas. Spaghetti head, mob niggas is full bread. Fully blown melanin tone. I rock skeleton bone shirts and verses with thirst for worse beats. So I can put more product out on the street. Get respect and love all across the board. We've been adored for keeping it raw. Nothing less or more. I score every time for sure. While the rest of y'all niggas just nail the
It's the
rap.
real shit to make them feel shit. Lump them in the club shit. Have you out and out when you bump this. Drugs in your eardrum, the raw uncut. Have a nigga OD cause it's never enough.
This or that, this or that, this or that, this or that.
Shout to Black Sheep, man.
This or that, this or that, this.
Come on, who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? Know not who I am or when I'm coming, so you sleep. Wasn't in my realm or wasn't in your sphere. Knew not who I was, but listen here. Dress D-O-E-S, yes, I guess I can start. If it's alright with you, I'll rip this head joint apart. Back middle to the front, no front. Want a good time, wanna give you what you want. Can I hear a hey? Hey, get it, yo? You got a hat? It's for the house. The styling is creative. Black sheep of the native can be violated or even decepticated. I got brothers in the jungle, cousins on the quest. Debit-ordered uncles and big porridge made they rest. Guess which way, what way, how? Mr. Long Dress, Black Sheep Slam now. Know you heard the others, only to the lovers. Then of course, the choice is yours.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, but this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, but this is kind of fat.
Where's the black sheep? Here's the black sheep. Even if we wanted to, the clock cannot be weak. Watch me swing like this. Why should I swing it like that? Because in fact, on me it might not attract. Therefore I ignore, do as I feel aside. I live with me. I've got my tonight, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Black, I'm not playing. Need to go with this and go with this with no delay and see. In actuality, wonder can it be? I made it look easy because it is to me. Anytime capacity was filled, tried to rock it. Anytime a honey gave us play, tried to knock it. Never was a fool, so we finished school. Never see us sweat and you'll never see us drool. Out to rock the globe while it's still here to rock. Don't punch girls and we don't punch a clock. Gotta go see you later by the cat. And you can't beat that with a bat.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, but this is where it's at. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, but this is kind of fat.
Engine number 9 on the New York Transit line. If my train goes off the track, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Back on the scene, crispy and clean. You can try, but don't rock, cause you can't intervene. We be the outcast, down for the settle. Won't play rock, won't play the pebble. Open the door, you best believe we're sliding through it swiftly. Niftily, we can make it hip to beat. What with our cause, what with beat. Be the epitome, do, da, dippity. So now I dwell just to say you're plain up. Hold your cup, cause I got the container. Pass the plate up, cross the fader. Black sheep can play like the Sony Innovator. Never the traitor, party inflator. And you can get a scoop later.
You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is kind of that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. You can get with this, or you can get with that. I think you get with this, cause this is where it's at. Where it's at. Where it's at. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze. It's in the mix.
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario?
Ayo, Bo knows this, and Bo knows that, but Bo don't know jack, cause Bo can't rap. Well, what do you know? The dead dog is first up to bat. No batteries included and no strings attached. No holds barred. No time for move faking. Got to get the loot so I can bring home the bacon. Brothers front, they say the drop can't flow, but we've been known to do the impossible like Broadway Joe. So sleep if you want, like who will help you get your Z's true. But here's the real scoop. I'm all that and then some. Short, dark, and handsome, bust a nut inside your eye to show you where I come from. I'm vexed, fuming. I've had it up to here. My days of paying dues are over. Acknowledge me is in there. Yeah. Head for the border, go get a taco. I direct it from the dump street, meaning from the get-go. Sit back, relax, and let yourself go. Don't sweat what you heard, but act like you know.
Yes, yes, y'all.
Yes, y'all. Who got the vibe? It's the tribe, y'all.
Tribe,
Real
y'all.
live, y'all.
Live, y'all.
Inside, outside, come around.
Who's that?
Brown. Some may I say, call me Charlie. The word is the herb, and I'm deep like Bob Marley. Lay back on the payback, evolve, rotate the gates.
Contact.
Can I get a hit? Hit. Boom, bit with a brother named Tip, and we're ready to flip. East Coast stomping, ripping and romping. New York, North Kakalaka, and Compton. Check it out. The loops for the troops, more bounds to the ounce. And wow, how now, brown cow. We're ill till the skill gets down for the flex. Next is the textbook old to the new, but the rest are doo-doo. From radio to the video to Arsenio, tell me, yo, what's the scenario? Scooby-Doo, whoopie-doo, scenarios, radios, rates more than 4. Scores for the scores that smother dance floors. Now I go for mine, shades of seashore. Ship shape plus great eights to play tape. Takes make breaks, make for the weight of an Ella, Anita. Simply just a leader. Base in the space means peace, see you later. Later, alligator. Pop blows a weasel and the earth's an inflator. So yo, the D, what the O, incorporated INC into a flow. Funk, flip, back, first, fist, foul, fight, laugh. Yo, how that sound?
It's a leader quest mission and we got the goods here.
Yeah.
Never on the left cause my right's my good ear.
Yeah.
I could give a damn about an ill subliminal. Stay away from crime so I ain't no criminal. I love my young nation, groovy sensation. No time for hibernation, only elation. Don't ever try to test the water, little kid. Yo, Mr. Busta Rhymes, tell them what I did.
heard you rushed and attacked. Then they rebuked, then you had to smack. Causing rambunction throughout the sphere. Raise the levels of the boom inside the air.
You know I did it, so don't violate or you'll get violated. The hip-hop sound is well agitated. We'll never waste no time on a played-out ego. So here's Busta Rhymes with the scenario.
Watch as I combine all the juice from the mind. Heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind. Powerful impact, boom from the cannon. Now bragging, try to reap a mind. Just imagine, vocabulary is necessary when digging into my library. Oh my gosh, eating I do still like the one pick the toss. All over the track, man. Pardon me, as I come back, as I did the ground, I had to beg your pardon. When I level through the turn, I roll with the squadron. Row, like a dungeon dragon. Change your little jaws cause your pants are sagging. Try to step to this, I will put you in a turban and have it smelling right like the most stale urine. Chuckity choco, the chocolate chicken, the rear cock diesel, the cheeks they were kicking. Yo, bust it out before the bust another round, the rhythm is instinct. The rhymes are on town, ripping up the sound just like a yo. Observe the vibe and check out the scenario. Yeah, my man, motherfucker.
So what's the scenario? Check it. Here we go, yo. Check it.
Here we go, yo.
Check it. So what's the scenario?
Here we go, yo. Here we go, yo.
So what's the scenario?
Shout to T. Christopher, what up? Salute.
Oh, yo. So what's the scenario?
Like we say in Jamaica, manners and respect. You know what I mean? You know what it is. It's your boy Super Blaze. That was the old school segment. You know what I mean? There's a little throwback segment of the campaign mix, man. Let's keep it locked right here. You know what it is. For facts, man. Busta Rhymes been doing his things for a long time. As you heard that verse just now, he smashed that thing like he does today. Still, you know what I mean? You know what it is, man. It's a campaign mix, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. We got special guests coming up later on tonight. Lee Cummings, you know what I mean? Might go and tell you a little bit more about that in a few. Shout out to my real friends out there. You know what it is, man. I got a real friend you can call on. They can call on you. It's never a problem, you know what I mean? You got their back, they got your back for life. You know what it is, you know? But we got our own lives and all of that sometimes, you know what I mean? You know? Can't always keep up, but it's nothing, you know what I mean? So it's only a phone call away, a text message away. Yo, that's it. It's simple. Let's keep it locked right here, man. Super Blaze campaign mix. Through the campaign. It's the Autonomous Party Podcast. Make sure, man, let's keep it locked.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
DJ Super Blaze is in the mix.
Bang, bang, bang.
Real friends, how many of us? How many of us? How many jealous? Real friends, there's not many of us. We smile at each other, but how many honest? Trust issues, switch up the number. I can't be bothered, I cannot blame you for having an angle. I ain't got no issues, I'm just doing my thing. Hope you doing your thing too. I'm a deadbeat cousin, I hate family reunions. Fuck the church up by drinking at the communion. Smelling free wine, now my tux is ruined. In time for a date, what the fuck we doing? Who your real friends? We all came from the bottom. I'm always blaming you, but what's sad, you not the problem. Damn, I forgot to call him. Shit, I thought it was Thursday. Why you wait a week to call my phone in the first place? When was the last time I remembered a birthday? When was the last time I wasn't in a hurry?
Tell me you want those tickets when it's game time. Even to call your daughter on the FaceTime. Even when we was young, I used to make time. Now we be way too busy.
Man, shout to Ye right now, for real. You see who his real friends are right now. I'll tell you that.
Guess I get what I deserved on her. Word on the streets if they ain't heard from them. I guess I get what I deserved on her. Talk down on my name, throw dirt on them. I couldn't tell you how old your daughter was. Couldn't tell you how old your son is. I got my own junior on the way, dog. Plus I already got one kid.
Couldn't tell you much about the fam, dog. I just showed up for the games, dog.
Maybe 15 minutes, took some pictures with your sister. Merry Christmas, then I'm finished, then it's back to business. You wanna ask some questions about some real shit. Like I ain't got enough pressure to deal with. Please don't pressure me with that bill shit.
Cause everybody got them that ain't children. Oh, you been nothing but a friend to me.
Niggas thinking I'm crazy, you defending me. It's funny, I ain't spoke to niggas in centuries. To be honest, dog, I ain't feeling your energy.
Money turn your kid into an enemy. Niggas ain't real as they pretend to be. Looking for
real friends.
Real friends.
How many of us? How many of us are real friends? To real friends, to the real end, to the reals fall off, to the wheels don't spin.
Yeah, yeah.
To 3 a.m. calling.
How many real friends? Just to ask you a question, just to
One
see how
hand
you
in
was
the air,
feeling.
if you don't really care.
How many?
2 hands in the air, if you don't really care. It's like that sometimes. I mean, sometimes it's shit ridiculous. One hand in the air, if you don't really care. Middle finger in the air, if you don't really care. It's like that sometimes, man, ridiculous. Life can be sometimes ridiculous.
I'm so appalled, spalled and balled, and Donald Trump taking dollars from y'all. Baby, you're fired, your girlfriend hired, but if you don't mind, I'ma keep you on call. We above the law, we don't give a fuck about y'all. I got dogs that'll chew a fucking hole through the wall. But since they all love us, I need more rubbers, and if I don't use rubbers, need more covers. Housekeeping, I mean, goddamn, one time, let it be a bad bitch sweeping. That know we get O's like Tibios. That know because they seen us in the videos. That know the day that you play me, it be the same day MTV play videos. That was a little joke. Voila. Praises due to the most high Allah. Praises due to the most fly Prada. Baby, I'm magic. Ta-da, address me as your highness. High as your 90. 30,000 feet up and you were not invited. Niggas be writing bullshit like they gotta work. Niggas going through real shit, man, they outta work. That's why another goddamn dance track gotta hurt. That's why I'd rather spit something that gotta perk. Champagne wishes, 30 white bitches. I mean, the shit is fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, the shit is fucking ridiculous. 5-star dishes, different exotic fishes. Man, this shit is fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
How should I begin this? I'm just so offended. How am I even mentioned by all these fucking beginners? I'm so appalled. I might buy them all just to show niggas how much more I have in store. I'm fresher than you all, so I don't have to pause. All of y'all can suck my balls through my drawers. Dark Knight feeling how you be a hero, but live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Went from the favorite to the most hated. But would you rather be underpaid or overrated? More victories is for minor league coaches. And yeah, already told you we major, you cockroaches. Show me where the boats is. Ferrari test the roasters. The hammer went broke, so you know I'm more focused. I lost 30 mils, so I spent another 30. Cause unlike Hammer, 30 million can't hurt me. Fucking insane. What the fuck am I saying? Not only am I fly, I'm fucking not playing. All these little bitches, too big for their britches, burning their little bridges. Fucking ridiculous.
Champagne wishes, 30 white bitches. I mean, the shit is fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. I mean, the shit is fucking ridiculous. 5-star dishes, different exotic fishes. Man, the shit is fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, you listen to Super Play. Let's go.
Bang, bang, bang. I'm an emotional roller coaster. We're high so high I could put bowl on a poster. But when the bread get low, like 4 loaves in a toaster, oh, the shoulders can get cold as 10 toes in Nova Scotia. Some days I hold a grudge, some days I hold a ghoster. Some days I just ghost her. Some days I'm supposed to. The crib feel like a gunfight, but them strollers, that's the holster. We can make amends over old memes and mimosas. My mama know I ain't make my bed, but I'ma lay in it. Whether it's sandpaper, suede linen, whether I'm alone, a Creole lady, mama laid in it. The same pajamas I was afraid in. I boogie man slave, my blankets conceal my blade in it. Emotional seesaw with 2 fat motherfuckers with strong knees and free fall. It's cloudy with a chance of meatballs. I check the weather. I gave all my vices a call. Let's get together to talk about the highs and lows, the ups and downs. The friends that I had to hide to come around. They told me that I knew you always come around. Come around, come around, come around, come around. To work out the highs and lows, the ups and downs. No need to hide, the skies is coming down. Go and get high, I promise you're coming down. Coming down, coming down, coming down, coming down. Your eyes on the road. And you feel your back's on the road. You gotta take the highs with the low. Gotta take the highs with the low. You're lost and you're running out of hope. Looking for the best way to go. Know we all been there before. Gotta take the highs with the low.
I was feeling lifeless, I had to cut my vices. Now the feeling that I feel is priceless. And the spirit want me to be righteous, but I know I might just
relapse, get sucked in these devices. Got so used to feedback, I couldn't tell what mine is. Sometimes all the outside noise just really blinds us. Beware, believe none of what you see and half of what you hear. The best things in life on the opposite side of fear. I swear I see it clear like after the storm. Still, you can't stop the rain like the loose end song. My word is born like James, yo, I couldn't complain. Cause even when I did, niggas really couldn't feel my pain. That's the type of shit that drive a nigga insane. Wanna be numb, like your thumb back, flicking the flame. Back to square one, trying to overcome what you became. Like they was right, I guess you never gonna change.
When it's hard to keep your eyes on the road, you start to feel your back on the road. Your back is you gotta take the highs with the lows. You gotta take the highs with the lows. Lost and you're running out of hope. And you're looking for the best way to go. So we all been there before. You gotta take the highs with the lows.
Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this. Yeah. Life is a balance. You lose your grip, you could slip into an abyss. No doubt, you see these tripping. Ego in charge of every move, he's a star. And we can't look away due to the days that he caught our hearts. He's falling apart, but we deny it. Justifying a half he drop, we always buy it. When he tell us he a genius, but it's clearer lately. It's been hard for him to look into the mirror lately. There was a time when this was my hero, maybe. That's the reason why his fall from grace is hard to take. Cause I believed him when he said it was pure, ain't he? The type of swear he real, but all around us fake. The women, the riders, you know the yes men. Nobody with the to say something to contest them. So he grows out of control until the person that he truly was all along is starting to show. Damn, wonder what happened. Maybe it's my fault for idolizing based off the words they be rapping. When come to find out, these don't even write. They hear some new style bubbling up, then they bite it. Damn, that's what I get for lying to myself. But forget what's more important is he's crying out for help. While the world's egging him on, I'm begging him to stop it. Playing his old, knowing he won't top it. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be this. Yeah, false. I got a homie, he a rapper and he wanna win bad. He want the fame, the acclaim, the respect that's been had by all the legends. So every time I see him, he's stressing, talking about don't with him. It's depressing, and I know he's so bitter he can't see his own blessings. Goddamn, you too blind to see you got fans and a platform to make a classic rap song to changing life, but you too anxious living life. Always worry about the critics who ain't never did it. I write what's in my heart, don't give a fucking with it. But in a sense, I can relate. The need to be great turns into an obsession and keeps it up late, writing words, hoping people observe the dedication that stirs in you constantly. But intentions get blurred. Do I do it for the love of the music, or is there more to me? Do I want these to worship me? False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this. False prophets. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this, be like this. Somebody should have told me it would be like this, be like this.
Once upon a time, there was a nigga from Compton with a militant mindset and an innocent conscience. He got into some nonsense. Nigga jumped in the car with a strap out. Just got dumb and open the trap house. Black out, back out, rack out, stack out, step out.
Okay.
Trigger finger itchy, looking for ops. Who it? Do not fuck around in them glass. Drop it down.
Fire! Yeah, you listen to Super Blaze.
DJ Super Blaze. Turn up. Come on. Hey. Let's go. Right. Bang, bang, bang. You ain't killed this right here, you heard? Listen. Go.
Once upon a time, there was a nigga from Compton with a militant mindset and an innocent conscience. He got into some nonsense. Nigga jumped in the car with a strap out. Just got dumb and said open the trap house. Black out, back out, rags out, stack out, step out. Trigger finger itchy, looking for ops. In the city where these niggas do not fuck around when they hold them Glocks. Drop the top while you riding the drop. In the kitchen like we nobody cry. Cause they don't take it out of the pot. Rock it up, kill me back on the plot. Niggas jaw jacking while the cars passing. Started jacking dickies, that's all fashion. Turn the lights off with a lost fashion. Niggas in the field playing all man. Sassin', we back to back in Impalas and Cadillac Escalators. Matte black with cactus sticks hanging out the back of it. Niggas don't know the half of it. We come through like we catfish. Ski masking shit, click clacking shit. All in your mail, open packages on this confident shit. Demonic shit, chronic hits with confidence. Ominous, obviously, probably be high as fuck. And that's why we tripping over
minor shit. Running over prominent neighborhoods just to bring our mama shit. Dominant nigga shit, they gon' wish they left us on the biggest continent. Hood politics, the drama gets sticky. Hollow tips, I'm letting off 50 out of it, cause I'm riding around tipsy. Promise this is payback for Nipsey. Once upon a time, it was a nigga from Compton, threw a rag in his pocket and start calling it Bompton. He was nickel and dime, it was the sign of the times when nigga had to take a deep breath. I tried walking straight past them, my CT flats and they asking. I got on my khakis, my rag just hanging out the back under my backpack, and all my homies in the casket. That's why I'm standing in the gap with this ratchet, trying to get the Tams. After that, walk all the way to Athens. So what the fuck is up? My knuckles up. My daddy always told me that I had to toughen up. I got my hat back, was in the strap back in. I ain't have a thought if they was buckled up. I've been outside, so I was jumped in my hood. They call that double dutch. This cedar block where heaters pop, but we catch fades. Come get this uppercut. Back home with the lights off and the roaches. Can't write shit, can't rap, can't focus. Got blunt burns in my grandma's sofa. I'm hoping I don't end up hopeless. Used to play ball, dribble the rock and fuck roaches. Stack bread whether or not it got molded. All red circle the block is not over. Ain't let niggas get shot without motives. All dead niggas plot and drive over. Never look back or stop for y'all vultures. Drop shade over the top, see got focus. Ready or not, we bout to take over. We soldiers, hold them, not fold them. Boulders is rolling like Otis. Tempted to take the controller out your hand, fuck my composure. Windows get rolled down, we smoking. Enemies option whoever. Outside no matter, no weather. Handguns is like
Pull me up, pull me up, pull me up. Oh my God.
Bang, bang, bang.
Lord, how you do that to me like that? Like, Lord. Yes. Whew. Let me gather myself. I mean, did you have one more that we could play? Like, pull a, wait. Whew. Got my heart rate. That shit was so hard. That beat serious right there, bro. That before he killed that, though. I'm gonna give it to Game. See, when Game do something, and I give him credit. I'm saying he went hard on that one. You know what I'm saying? That's why I requested that joint to be played. I'm telling y'all, if y'all like that one, let me know, because that was, to me, probably one of the best joints off the last album he dropped. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. But at the same time, you know, it is what it is in my opinion. You know what I mean? From a hip hop cultural standpoint. He still got it though. Right there, he showed you that. That boy killed that shit. He killed that shit. What was the other one you was going to play? What was the joint? You know what? Before we do pull up Lee Cummings, we see him in the back right there. We're gonna pull him up in 1 second. You know what I'm saying? But I want you just to give him that first part. We've been playing it on Clubhouse. You know what I mean? The For Us By Us Solange joint. Can I get that beginning part real quick before we, you know what I mean, go into the joint tonight? You know what I'm saying? Can we get that part real quick? Shout out to Solange with For Us By Us Fubu. You heard?
One for us. All my niggas in the whole wide world. All my niggas in the whole wide world made the song and make it all yours. Time for us. This shit is for us. All my niggas let the whole world know. Play the song and sing it on your terms. For us. This shit is for us. Don't try to come for us. All my niggas got the whole wide world.
That's all we wanted. You know, that's what we wanted. That first part, Fubu.
Bang, bang, bang.
You hear me? That's one of the. I mean, I'm gonna add that to that zombie type of list. You know what I mean? Just the hook. Just the hook. You gotta listen to the whole song. No take away, but that's a hard joint. I like that. That's how she put that together. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got Lee Cummings with us tonight. Obviously, you know what I mean? We got a class curriculum joint set up in November going on soon. Rush is around the corner, a couple weeks from now. You know what I mean? We're hoping everybody taps in for that. Also, you know, so we got some questions. Anybody that might have some questions, want to have different things, what's going on with the class, and also certain things going on right now. And obviously what he got going on right now based off of, you know, the content of information y'all been listening to with Lee Cummings over the time frame with us, and obviously from his books that's been going back 6, 7 years now. So we're gonna pull him up though, our guest tonight, Lee Cummings. You know what I mean?
Is that my cue? Oh, okay.
That's your cue. You on the stage.
That's my cue. Hey, one of these. Keep the cameras rolling.
Keep the cameras rolling.
Your DJ decent, man.
Oh, my DJ Blaze, you say you decent, man.
Dude,
you feeling
decent.
you. Appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
Feel the campaign.
Decent, man. Huh?
We ain't got no Howlin' Wolf on the.
We don't got no Howlin' Wolf. Got a green on the board say we ain't got Howlin' Wolf for you tonight.
Man, dude is decent.
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
I listen to music like on a timeline. You know, I go from the 20s to 2020. I listen to a little bit of everything.
I noticed that. I like that about you. That's how we should be. You know what I mean? I go back to, I like to pull from the crates and see where these samples are coming from. They always come from somewhere.
Cold, I don't care what era it came from. If it's cold, I'm with it.
I'm the same way. If it's hot, it's hot. You know what I mean? I've always been that way about music. So Lee, man, before we get into all the ancient stuff and other things, the current situation right now, I want to keep it fresh. For the current situation, have you heard about what's going on with the brother they call Kanye West? He likes to be called now. Yeah,
there ain't nothing wrong with Kanye, man. Look, the man is a businessman. Think about what he just did with that one cornball comment. He made another $1 billion. He just made another $1 billion. Every Anglo-Saxon, white American, went out and bought that T-shirt. Think about it. No, ain't nobody thinking. Kanye West just made. He just sold T-shirts to European racists that don't like blacks. Every police department in America probably went out and bought the T-shirt. Think about it. The dude is a
good strategy. I never thought about it from that standpoint. We got to find out. Did he put the white line shirt himself, or did he just wear it? This whole shirt thing.
Man, that dude probably made an easy $1 billion overnight. Easy.
Man, we have to check that out. I want to see if he's the one that actually put the shirt out.
Kanye used to be on 95th Street in Chicago when he first got started. He was a GD, a gangster disciple. He started out as, people don't know this about Kanye. Kanye was he was a G from off 95th Street in Chicago. And dude used to be selling his tapes when he was nobody. He used to sell his stuff out the trunk of his ride. He was a gangster. So Kanye West.
Y'all hear this?
Kanye West. Why you think he talk?
Man out of Chicago.
Right. Why you think he talk
crazy?
Out of
Chicago selling the street and all. What's going on, Lee?
I'm giving y'all the background.
You know people go hear this and be like, Lee, what you said?
So Kanye learned the art of free marketing. So when you market a product and you don't want to spend no money on it, what do? You say something crazy. And then you come out with a slogan, White Lives Matter.
With a product or something too.
And then guess what? Ain't nobody ran them numbers yet. But I really would like to see how much money he made. Kanye is sane. He's playing psychotic. But dude just got paid. Think about it. Who bought that T-shirt? Now, did no black folks buy it?
Of course not.
So who you think bought it? All of Donald Trump's people. Everybody that voted for Donald Trump bought Kanye West T-shirt. The moment he came out, everybody talking. Kanye didn't lost it, man. Kanye didn't lost his man. Kanye just made another $1 billion. He just bought another Boeing 747.
So Lee.
Yeah.
When it comes to that whole situation, outside of that, the T-shirt thing and everything, obviously I know you because you subscribe to and what you teach off the books, the Negro Questions. Ye has obviously came out and said that he's a Jew and that he's in the blood of Christ. That was one of the terms he used. He used that recently.
Kanye?
Kanye. Yeah, he said that recently live. He said an anti-Semitic situation because of what's going on with the industries and stuff that he's saying is taking advantage of him and the banking and everything like that, JP Morgan and all that.
Let me ask you a question.
He said, though, he's a Jew. That the black man is the real Jew. I'm letting you know that it's causing a stir. So the stir is there.
I don't know why. Why is it causing
it should. I mean, I'm looking at it crazy, too. Like, why is everybody making it seem like this ain't been said for all these times?
Sammy Davis Jr. said it in the 60s or the 70s. Sammy Davis Jr. said he was a Jew. Morgan Freeman has come out publicly and said that he was a Jew. The girl that died, the skinny girl that could sing, what was her name?
Aaliyah?
No, the other one that was messing with the singer Brown.
Oh, Whitney.
Whitney, and what's his name?
Bobby?
They were down there. Whitney and Bobby went down to Jerusalem, got baptized in the Red Sea. They came back Jews. There are a lot of former NBA basketball player with the New York Knicks, Stoudemire, came out publicly.
Stoudemire.
So this thing has gone through this being a Hebrew now is big. Just like when you brothers came out with the Moor thing. Or you're a Moor, you're indigenous. Y'all indigenous, right? Well, when the Moors came out, that was huge. Then when the indigenous people came out, that was so. The black community is going through a cycle right now.
Yeah, I call it like a renaissance and stuff of all the things.
It is a renaissance. It's
coming
like
back to hunt.
But
us
you know
to
what it
realize
is,
who
really?
we are, type shit.
But you know what it is, really?
Yeah.
It is the Illuminati. And people say, well, what's Illuminati? Illuminati is not a clandestine organization. Illuminati is a Latin word that means to illuminate. And then it translated to English, it means what? Light. So what is the Illuminati? It's a person that has wisdom, a person that can see. So the light's been turned on in the black community, but it's falling under different titles. And it's separating us from the sons of dark, our brothers that are in darkness, the murderers and the thieves and so on and so forth. That's all.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
I see what you're saying. Now, on that note, you've been on our show a couple different times. I want to ask you, what remember the time you brought up the translated slave trade and how the brothers got brought on the ships to Louisiana?
Yeah.
You remember talking to us about that?
Yeah.
All right. Can you give me that link real quick? I want to pull up something. I want you to look at something we found about that particular article on the slaves coming into Louisiana. Because, that's something that was following around. People was asking questions about it. We were like, we don't dodge no smoke. So we went and found something historically that kind of fit what we are not trying to fit nothing, but the narrative, what we were talking about, so we could see, is this what they're talking about? Is this what people are mentioning for the record of the slave trade coming into Louisiana or the French? Because it's tied to the Noir codes, what we call the black codes that the King Louis XIV did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So right here, the arrival of the first Africans in Louisiana. This is from the Evergreen Plantation. You know what I mean? It's another one, obviously, as well. But this one right here is the one we're using just for this moment. And obviously, they got the demographic of how the ships and everything came in and all that good stuff. You make that bigger, because my eyes is not that good at all. All right. No, so it's saying in this right here paragraph, just checking this out, I'll read it. It says the first slave ships from Africa arrived in Louisiana in 1719. On a year after the founding of New Orleans, 23 ships brought slaves to Louisiana in the French period alone. Almost all embarking prior to 1730. The need for labor on the large concessions proved so great that officials found themselves unable to satisfy the colonists' demand for slaves. Thus, the large number of the slaves brought over to supply colonists with free labor soon resulted in enslaved Africans outnumbering the free whites.
Hold on, I got a question. I mean, you get show. Anyway, Louisiana was a French colony. You're aware of that, right?
That's what it's saying, yes.
So the British didn't have nothing to do with this. Nor the
Correct.
English.
No. Right. I'm not doing that for that.
Oh,
purpose.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay, go ahead.
So when did America purchase the slave states?
As far as what, Louisiana and those states that we're talking about?
All the southern states was on that. You got to realize all that Arkansas, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, those are French colonies that was on that on that Louisiana landmass or connected.
Yeah, the Louisiana Purchase thing they talk about, right?
1803. So guess what that means? That means Britain was not involved in the slave trade or the institution itself until the Louisiana Purchase, 1803. But that's all I wanted. I just want to add that.
Okay, cool. No problem. I'm glad you put that in there. So when we with this link, when it's going into this colony, that's why I'm glad you said that too, because sometimes people try to jumble up when they say Europeans, not understanding that the French are considered Europeans, but that had nothing to do with, like you said, with the 13 colonies
right
that led to the American Revolutionary War dealing with King George III and George Washington. You know what I'm saying? So we can't mix up, like you said, those 13 states in the Northeast off the Southeast area that was established, and what happened in that storyline with those indigenous people in that storyline, because these indigenous people are obviously not in the situation that those were in the time frame when the French came over, when what they call New Orleans, a year only after the founding of New Orleans. But even though they say, though, even, there's a lot of slaves that outnumbered, though, they say free whites. 1741, 4 African slaves lived in the colony for every 1.2 free white.
But there's a problem. There's a problem, though, and there's a real problem with this history because King George, well, that's Georgia, yeah, well,
right,
yeah, I'm off base, but Louisiana itself, those Hebrew, one thing that's missing out of this article right here is that these captives, I like to call them captives, that's what they were. These captives came from the kingdom of Judah.
Okay, boom. Now what's your
right, go ahead.
Well, okay, now boom. Now you said that, right? Now this is the craziest part, right? It's gonna come into the next paragraph of this link. And as you said, these people, Jews. And I had a question with these people I was talking like last week before I even, this show. And I was like, wait a second. So the Code Noir that the French set up with King Louis XIV, that code, which is the original black codes, is called the Noir codes. And it's right here. It's gonna come in and say it in this next one where it says, this imbalanced population combined with the high morality, the threat of conflict with Native American shortages of food and goods, and isolation produced a colony in which African, French, and Spanish cultures blended to create a unique culture known as Creole. Because most of the Africans who first arrived in Louisiana were of one nation. And then it says the Bambara, Bambara, I should say it like that. They succeeded in preserving their language and culture, and through solidarity. Oh, did I say it right? Solidarity. I think I need to go and catch me. Solidarity ultimately acted as an Africanizing influence on Louisiana. European colonists, aware of their precarious position in the colony, were inclined to work together with slaves and afford them some rights under the Code Noir. Code Noir. Now, this Code Noir, this is King Louis XIV that does this code. Can we pull that up, bro? Can we pull up I know it's not in the clip. Can you go get the one we had it from last week? Just real quick. I want you to see this, Lee, real quick. We're going to move on to the next. John, I just want you to see this. When you told me about it, we found this thing in Louisiana, and this Code Noir came up, and it obviously has this document, and it was very interesting. So I'm just being open about the conversation. You know what I'm saying? I got it right here. You want me to send it to you? God? Yeah, it's on your last joint. There you go. Hold on. We're going to pull it up real quick. Hold on. While we're doing it, I'm scrolling up trying to get to it real quick. That's all. Here it is. There it goes. All right. So yeah, this Code Noir. Have you heard of this Code Noir though? As far as the black codes that we talk about, like even the 13 colonies had what they call the black code somewhat.
Does that make any sense to you?
That's what I'm saying. I'm about to show you something that's gonna make sense to me. I'm gonna show you. I want you to tell me what you think.
Why would you have black codes for some people that were supposed to be slaves?
Exactly. This is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying. I'm about to show you something. It don't make no sense. It don't make no sense, right?
You know what that tells you? That tells you that it's made up history. Because if they were slaves, they had no rights anyway. So why would you be making laws for some slaves to move around? No, man. The thing is, France at that time, France was a biracial country. You had mulattoes in France. Ask my man, the DJ, to look up the what year was the Haitian Revolution?
The Haitian Revolution? That was like 18th century, but like early, like 1803, 1804.
It was 1791. So
1791 was when it started, but I think they got it free in 18 something.
Exactly. So what you understand is, you have to go back and read the writings of Benjamin Franklin. That was an eyewitness account. This is what they're gonna get in this class. They're gonna look at real history, the eyewitness account of Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, William Penn. Thomas Jefferson says that when King Louis XIV was beheaded, it was called, the title was the storming of the Basilica. And he said he saw 60,000 Frenchmen of all sizes, race, and color. This was Thomas Jefferson's eyewitness account. It's called the storming of the Basilica. And that's when King Louis XIV got his head cut off. Benjamin Franklin said, while he was the ambassador to France in the 1700s, that he saw black French women riding 6 abreast, and that the French in the I think the French in the South were black, or the French at that time. And also, you have the eyewitness testimony of Private Flohr. I think Private Daniel Flohr, Flohr, at the Battle of Yorktown. And at the Battle of Yorktown, the French fought the British, the Germans, the colonists, and the black German army that had been hired by King George to represent the English. And the eyewitness account of, I think, Daniel Flohr was that all the dead bodies that laid on the ground at the Battle of Yorktown were Moors. They were all Moors. Anybody know what a Moor is? The word is what?
Nigga.
They were black. He said they were Morin. They were black. Everybody, all the armies that fought at Yorktown was black armies, which means what? Your history book is a lie. That is what you're going to get from the Negro Question book series. If you take this course, you're going to get the eyewitness account with untampered artifacts. That's what you're going to get.
Now, well, obviously we got that popping with you starting November 15th. That's actually going to be the 17th class, because the Aramaic, which I want to get to too, because you're doing 2 classes too. I mean, as we promote that too, I just want to point this one couple of things I want to point out that I found interesting, and I thought you would be the person to ask, because I know you wrote these. You can, it's a questions book. You mean you have answers? You feel me? So the Code Noir initially took shape in Louis XIV's Edict of 1685. Although subsequent decrees modified a few of the code's provisions, this first document established the main lines for the policy of slavery right up to 1789. The very first article expels all Jews from the colonies.
What
Jews
colony?
played as French colonies.
That's
from
right.
French colonies.
Because because the French, everybody had all the so-called powers had owned a piece of North America. The Dutch was in New York. That's why they talk that little funny accent down there, because the Dutch were there. The Brits or the Scots, they were in the 13 colonies. France was in the southern states, and so Spain was in Florida.
Right.
That's where you get that stuff, Spanish Florida. Y'all in Florida, right?
Of course, I know that. Yes, a fact.
Yeah, so each one of the nations had carved out a piece of North America. Did not belong exclusively to the British.
Right, exactly. That's a fact. Some people get that wrong because they don't know about.
They got bad history teachers out here, man.
Hey, man, it's not my fault.
It's your
but
fault.
At the same time,
no, it's your fault, man.
I'm just putting the information out there now by bringing this so people can go look it up themselves, because it's literally telling you. So this is what I asked. This is why I brought this up. See, I segue from one to this because of the fact when you look at what happened in Louisiana, they talk about the plantations and stuff, and you know what I mean, and who they brought, the slaves they say they brought, and then it led to a Code Noir. And then the Code Noir was issued in 1685 in the French colonies, and it's saying that they kicked out Jews. Now, my question to you, obviously, just like how people get mad about Kanye saying certain things, is wouldn't this black code always be considered dealing with what we call today the Negro in America?
Yeah, but the problem is there's one point, and I know you guys that's out there, and even some of the brothers that's in the studio, you're not gonna believe this. But Benjamin Franklin said in 1751, Benjamin Franklin said that all of France was swarthy. So what color was the French slave master? Was he white or was he black? Think about it. Benjamin Franklin is white American #1. And this document that I referenced, which is going to be in this class that we teach, is that currently being held at the Library of Congress. It's called Benjamin Franklin's essay, America is a Land of Opportunity, 1751. His eyewitness account is that France was swarthy. Swarthy is slang for black.
But since as you brought up,
and check this out. Course. And so what does that mean, brothers? That means you've been sold a lie. When they told you the slave master was white. No, he wasn't. He was black. See, slavery wasn't predicated on skin color. It was based on religion. Remember, remember, you have to tie that article back to the Dum Diversa. It was a papal bull. I think it was Pope Gregory, and it stated that if they found any religious people that were not Catholics in Africa, they were to be sold into slavery, and their land was supposed to be taken, and they were supposed to be slaves perpetually. There were two papal bulls at that time. One, the Dum Diversa, and I forget the other one. But simply what I'm saying to you is this. Slavery was not, they trying to make it seem like it was a color thing. It was not based on color. It was based on religion. That's the reason why the article said all the Jews were expelled from the French colonies. It was all based on religion. Spain at that time, King James' firstborn son, King Charles I, made the mistake of marrying a Spanish princess. Is that right, Lord? And they cut his head off. And so the English were Protestants. France and Spain became Catholic. The English was the English church, which is the Anglican church, was in a mortal combat, or was in mortal combat with the Catholic Church in the 1600s. These are historical facts. That's the reason why they don't mention anything about Catholicism in the Middle Ages. They don't want you to know that. See, if you read the original introduction of the 1611 King James Bible, it will tell you emphatically that King James put a hit out on the Pope. And the hit was
the introduction.
It's in the introduction of the original 1611 King James Bible.
All right. I'm going to go there because I got a couple things out of your book where you got here. The missing link. This is the missing link, part 4. This is what you'll be teaching on.
I only talk about things. I only talk about things that I know.
That's what I want tonight for you to teach when you teach this class to folks.
Hey, that's why. There you go. That's it right there. Now check this out. That's the reason why everybody's Bible, Big Mama, Big Daddy, the grandparents, that preacher who you hold in high esteem, he don't even know this. He don't know that the original introduction to the King James Bible has been taken out of his Bible.
That's a fact. I ask people. They really have no knowledge of this.
If you don't believe it, call your grandmama right now while you on air.
God bless them. They ain't out here with me right now. But at the same time, but check this out, though. No pressure. The thing is, in the fact that you showed me this, because I didn't know about it. You told me
Yeah,
this, and I went and looked it up.
It was a straight
You know what I
hit,
mean?
man.
It's a straight hit. You know, inside the hit though, even more what everybody's been, you know, when we go and say, hey, you know, Lee Cummings told us about this introduction that was taken out the Bible, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? We what's the reference we going to, guy? Like the part where it says the Indian spoke Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, it's a lot of pushback on the language part of it, because everybody's like, oh, well, the tribes had so many different, you know, all these different nations had these different languages that particularly ain't just popping out like it's some Hebrew language. So
why would the translator lie? He had no reason.
I ain't saying nobody lying personally. Yeah. I'm just saying what the conversation is, and that's why I'm bringing it back to you, because you did bring up the 1611 introduction, which goes into that part too. But this part right here stands out when it talks about, because this is what someone even brought, and that's why I'm bringing it to you.
Read me that part where it says the Indian spoke Hebrew.
All right, here we go.
I see where you got it right there.
You see where it's kind of highlighted?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, where should I start?
Where it says the doctrine.
Okay, so it says the doctrine of St. John, right? Said he.
Yeah, I see
did not in such sort as the philosophers did vanish away, but the Syrians, the Egyptians, the Indians, Persians, Ethiopians, and infinite other nations, being barbarous people, translated into their own mother tongue, and have learned to be true philosophers, he meaneth Christians. This may be added Theodore, as next unto him both antiquity and for learning, his words be these: every country that is under the sun is full of these words of the apostles, and it says the prophets, and that's in parentheses. It says, and the Hebrew tongue. He meaneth the scriptures in the Hebrew tongue. It turned not only into the language of the Grecians, but also the Romans and the Egyptians and the Persians and the Indians and the Armenians and the Scythians and the Samaritans, and briefly into all the language that any nation useth. That's why I want to stop right there. Can I stop there?
That's the truth. You know how I
so
know?
Now that's the question. Go ahead though.
The reason is the truth is because we have other sources that say that the Hebrews gave their alphabet to the Greeks in 2000 BC, and the Greeks gave it to the Romans, who gave it to the rest of the world. These are the facts. In fact, you speak a language now that you call English. The white man told you speak English. He said this is the this is what the white man said. And I'm not gonna say white man, we're gonna say the Anglo-Saxon. The Anglo-Saxon said that this is the English language. Name one letter in the so-called English alphabet that's English. You can't. You know why? Every letter in the English alphabet is Hebrew, but 7 of them.
What 7 of them?
Only 7 letters in the so-called English alphabet are not Hebrew.
So it's 22. It's 22 letters in the original alphabet, right?
Right. So 15 of these letters in the so-called English alphabet came from where? Came from Israel. They Hebrew. Let me give you the 7 that are not Hebrew. The letter C, the letter E, the letter F, the letter I, the letter J, the letter U, the letter V. That's 7. Those letters are basically Latin and Greek, but the other 15 letters in the alleged English alphabet are Hebrew. Period. And you can find that same structure in German, in Russian, the whole world right now. But this was written in the 1600s, and to this day, that is a factual statement if you know what you're talking about. So I was talking to a linguist, a scholar, an Anglo-Saxon, and for the sake of identity, a white scholar. And I tested the theory. I said, there's no such thing as an English language. And he looked at me and said, you know what? Theoretically, you're correct. I know I'm correct.
So I'm going to ask you about the Hebrew alphabet. I want to show a source, and I know you've been because you got a dictionary. I got your dictionary here, and for anybody that doesn't know, see, I got a couple of your joints. I got a question out of this book. I know you're gonna be teaching the class on this particular book, The Missing Link. This right here, obviously, for anybody that don't know, the Negro Questions Paleo Hebrew Dictionary. This book right here, though, on page 14, before we go into this part right here, it says, where should I start? Page 14. Where should I start, God, as a reference point here? I don't want to miss my spot. I don't forgot for everything else in my mind on that page 14.
What you doing over there? Hey, that alphabet right there, that's not real.
I know you're going to go there. I knew you was going to go there. All right, here we go. All right, so it says, all right, so on your page 14, before we go into this part right here of why your Aramaic class is so important, actually, is why I brought this link up. I did this for a purpose. You know what I mean? I lead you somewhere for a purpose. I need you to be able to tell the people why this is not right.
You sound like one of them kind of guys.
But,
you know how you sound? You sound like one of them kind of guys. You whooping your child. You tell your child, you get a child a long speech, then you whoop. Is that how it go?
Nah, man, I don't be whooping my child. I never put hands on my daughter. No, but real talk. No, but real talk. You silly, man. Hey, but I feel you though. My daddy did that to me though.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna talk to you for a minute. This gonna hurt now. So go ahead.
Shout out to my pops though. He did that to me on time occasion. Real talk. But damn, where was I, man? He made me lose my spot one more time.
You said 14, page 14.
No, I got the page. Okay, it says the two words mean something important. Get a concordance and look up the word Ayin, suburb for Benjamin, Judah, and Levi, and then use the internet to see what the word Brit means, covenant, in the original Hebrew. In the original King James Bible, the King James spelled his name I-A-M-E-S. Then it says, this is what you wrote. Why would he do that? The letter I is a Hebrew letter Zayin. Not only did King Aim's, you didn't say Jane, you spelled it with the I here. Right. Aim's used Hebrew letters to spell his name. He also nicknamed himself Jacob. I want you, can you give me just a little bit? That's been a question out there that, we felt
man, you don't want
some clarity on.
You sure you want to smoke?
I'm not, wait, you gonna come at me like that? Yes, matter of fact, I do want to smoke. Wait, yes, go ahead, give it to me. Go ahead, light me up.
Now check this out. The Anglo-Saxon, and I'm gonna say it again, and for clarity and for purposes of identification, for purposes of identification, the white man, he said that that Jacob was a Latinized version of James, which is totally incorrect. King James called himself a Jacobite for a reason, because King James was a Hebrew. And so I think it's in the 49th chapter of the 49th chapter of Isaiah. I'm not prepared because I didn't know he was going to ask this question. But it says some will surname himself Israel, some will surname himself by the name Jacob, and some will surname himself by the name of the Lord. So King James now called themselves Jacobites. Now, what is a Jacobite? Now, I'm going to preach a little bit. There is no J in Hebrew.
Right.
So King James called himself what? Yaqub. The original spelling of Jacob is Y-Q-O-B. In ancient Arabic, that is anybody that's out there that's a scholar or an aspiring scholar, you should know this. So Jacob is really Yaqub, Y-Q-O-B. But what does his name mean in Aramaic? It means heel, H-E-E-L. Right. Like a woman's heel. So the spelling for heel is Q-O-B. So when Jacob was born, what did he do? He grabbed the heel of his brother Esau when they came out the womb. So the midwife named him Yaqub, which is he's the heel. So that's where the name Jacob came from. The name Jacob is referencing what? What Yahweh told Adam and Eve in the garden. He said that the heel of the woman. It said no, the woman was going to bruise the serpent's head, and then the serpent was going to bruise the heel of the woman. Well, who was the heel? The heel was Jacob, and then the 12 stars or the 12 tribes that came out of the heel, nicknamed Jacob, and that's what Jacobite was. Now, 1715, 1745, they had in Europe, it is documented world history, they had the Jacobite Wars. What's a Jacobite? That's a Hebrew Israelite, man. 1715, 1745, documented in the Anglo-Saxons in his history book.
Right.
But you're looking at real history, but you've not been taught to apply it to yourself because you thought that the Jacobites were what? White. No.
White man. Right. That's what people thought.
King James was a Jacobite. They were Jacobites, man. They were Hebrews.
Right. Now, they might have been Hellenistic, because you told me yourself in your book that they were King James was, what you call a Roman citizen, a Byzantine, Roman Hellenistic. I mean, what the origin is, right? I'm not going against that part.
No, check this out. They were Roman citizens by the mere fact that the Romans came in and offered citizenship. Just like me and you. We right here in America. We have American citizenship. But we're something else along with our citizenship. So the word Brit in Aramaic is covenant. This is how we knew that the Brits were the people of the book. They named themselves after the covenant.
Right.
Listen, man, this is not an allude. This is not somebody that's wishing on a star. These are the facts. There's only one nation on the planet that named themselves the Brit, which is Aramaic for covenant. And so I'm saying a lot.
No, you're not.
There's a lot in the question. But the thing about the Jacobites is documented proof. We have a ship's manifest. Y'all gonna see that too when you take the class. It's the only ship's manifest in the world that gives an eyewitness description of the black Scots, the black Germans, the black seed of King James, the princess, coming into the 13 colonies. Eyewitness account, all that's in the class. You're gonna learn real history from us with documentation.
And I let y'all know, see, that's why Thomas Party, we got down with doing the class with you, and we got it set up. We're gonna show people on the website how to get to it. Anybody that wants to sign up for it, obviously the class separately, you can sign up for each one separately, even though they're both 8-week courses. Just to throw that in there real quick of our conversation tonight.
We have to do 8 weeks because I couldn't get it all in 6.
It's all good though. You giving this information.
But it's a hell of a
We just
deal.
want to be able to put it out through the platform so people can know that we have it available for them. And you, thank you for being the person that's going to instruct this information for people to go ahead and find all these sources that we are talking about live on our live show tonight. They can get it in a real situation, like in a class, platform, so they can ask all the questions they want and be able to get all the answers they need from the Negro questions.
And then, like what we're trying to do also is we're trying to at least have like maybe once during that 8-week course where we have a live presence somewhere in Florida, where anybody that's in that area could come down and just it's a meet and greet and Q&A, the whole nine.
We're working on something. We definitely want you to be a guest at Maroonville. We're gonna call it Maroonville for right now, but we're working on something in the coming year. So definitely, I'd like you to come down for our meet and greet that we do, and maybe definitely we can get because people are definitely tapping in with us. Shout out to everybody around the nation that taps in internationally, whatever that we have tapping into our show. Even though we ain't the biggest, but we still got people around the nation that's tapping in. So at the end of the day, I appreciate everybody that's tapping in for this show right now, everybody in the chat. Now, everything with that being said, can we get back to the script? The script, you say you disagreed with it. You know what I'm saying? This is particular because of the Aramaic class you're going to teach. I'm sorry, say again?
There's a problem with the script. We was dealing with this script right here. This is what now, again, I always say this because we have people that try to shut sites down because of the truth. And we're going to use adjectives. And one of the adjectives we might use is white. Another adjective could be black, red, brown. but they just simply description for description purposes. Now, the Khazars, or what you commonly call the white Jews, or they wouldn't even be considered Anglo-Saxon because they came out of Eastern Europe. But these Khazars,
Say that again. Say it again. Wait.
white
Because some
Jews
people don't understand that they're not Anglo-Saxons, right?
Right, the Anglo-Saxon.
They're not the Anglo-Saxons, but they're not. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Say that one time.
The Anglo-Saxons are NATO and the European Union.
Right, but what I'm saying is the Khazars, right, that you just mentioned.
Yeah,
they're not considered Anglo-Saxons, but today people I heard debate even about like Armenians that have Khazar lineage being not considered white. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, in our system, aren't they not? Say again.
They're Slavic. You know,
They're Slavic. Okay,
they
thank you.
got
Just want to make sure we had that right. Just in the understanding of different things.
They were their history, and this is real history now. The history of the so-called Khazars, they were Hungarian. They were Hungarian barbarians that were converted to Judaism. They got absorbed by the Russian Empire, and then that's where the Russian Jew came from. And then when when the Anglo-Saxons gave the land away, 92% of all the Russian Jews or Khazarian Jews fled to Jerusalem, or the land of Israel, which means 92% of all Jews worldwide are Slavic. They're not the seed of Abraham, and they know this. But that's not why we're here tonight. But
no, we're not. No, we're not.
But I'm piggybacking off this language, this alphabet.
Okay, that's why you have to explain it to go into the language.
This alphabet.
Right? Now, when nobody say you being anti-Semitic, we just talk about history and what it is.
I can't be anti-Semitic because I'm Semitic.
Okay, that's a fact.
Right, this alphabet right here it's anywhere from 900 to 1,000 years old. When this is what they call the Masoretic script or the square script. You cannot find this script on any of the ancient stones or the Dead Sea Scrolls. And so what the European Jew has done, he takes pictures of the real artifacts, and then he goes back and writes it back down in his alphabet and puts it on the internet and says, this is Hebrew. No, he calls it modern Hebrew. That's not Hebrew. That's your stuff, man. You can't find that on the money from the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD. I got guys that study this. And I always ask the question. I said, you're a free man. You can read, write, and study what you want. But why would you study this and you can't find it on none of the stones or the Dead Sea Scrolls, the original? And so, to me, it's useless. So what we're going to teach, if you take the second class,
right,
we're going to teach you how to read, write, and translate. And we're going to be using real artifacts that they're using in major museums and universities. And so it's going to be real-time applied theory. You made it read, write. Time. Yeah, real time. But that's the second class. That's the second class. Now I want to focus on that right now.
I know you don't want to go into all these things right now fully. Obviously, this is just an intro, though people know. That's why we asking these certain questions, showing these certain documents. You know what I mean? So people can question, because most people when they think they're reading Hebrew, and we always hear people talk about the Hebrew. You know what I mean? In this situation, I found something interesting. And I'm trying to make sure I pull up the first one right, because it's dealing with this class where we're talking about just the language in Aramaic. I'm looking for the Aramaic. Do you have the Aramaic one there? Am I tripping?
All you gotta do is just type in Google.
I had a particular one I wanted to use, man, with the Aramaic one, so you could tell me what you thought about it particularly. I think the site right here. Scroll up a little bit. Scroll up on the one we are right now on this one. Scroll up a little bit. Let me see something. Am I tripping? All right, here we go. Aramaic. So this part right here now. That's what it was. Because before I go to the next one, I know I ain't tripping. See my slides and all that, make sure. Now I gotta be trying to make, throw you alley-oops to answer these questions when I put people with questions and answers. This part right here though, you see where it say the between the 6th and the 2nd centuries BCE, this is classical or square and Hebrew gradually displaced the Aramaic alphabet.
That's a lie.
Which had replaced early Hebrew in Palestine. Square Hebrew became established in the 2nd and 1st century BCE and developed in the modern Hebrew alphabet over the next 1,500 years. It apparently derived from the Aramaic alphabet rather than from the early Hebrew, but was nonetheless strongly influenced by the early Hebrew script. I want you to tell me what you thought about that before I go to this
It's
next
a
one.
lie. It's a lie. It's a lie.
I knew you were going to tell me this. Go ahead. Tell them why, though. Tell the people why so we can, for the class purposes.
It's a lie because we got artifacts like seals from the kings of Judah and Israel. Some date to 980 BC. We have something that's more important. We have shekels from the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD that's written in Aramaic. That's 70 AD, man. What does that tell me? That tells me that the brothers were still speaking Aramaic when the Romans was destroying the temple and destroying Jerusalem in 70 AD. So this is a lie. And the reason why they pawning this off is because they got this square script, what they call modern Hebrew in these major universities. And they charging people to learn the square script. There's a passage of scripture in the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah and them came out of captivity in 539 BC. You know what he said? The passage says that while they was in the captivity for 70 years, the Hebrews could no longer speak Hebrew. Nehemiah had to reteach them. He didn't teach them the Masoretic script. He taught them Aramaic, man. That's in the book of Nehemiah.
Right, the book of Nehemiah.
I can read that to you.
Another thing is interesting though with the King James Bible. I got a quick question on my own before I pull up another clip of dealing with our promotion and everything with the classes and why these things are important. They took out the Apocrypha, right, out of the book. Just like they took out the introduction out of the book. Because you pointed the introduction that was taken out.
Right.
Also, I've come across some other script thing called the Sunni manuscripts. Have you heard of that? The Sunni manuscripts that Paul had?
Say it again.
The Sunni manuscripts.
I don't. I know that.
Okay. No
I know that we got some brothers and sisters that deal in the Apocrypha, but
just the crazy part, like it's taken out, just like the introduction taken out, and then people have today, obviously Hebrew Israelites even go off the King James Bible, and the King James Bible apparently doesn't have the introduction or books that were in it before the Protestants took it out.
I got a question for I got a question for you, everybody that's in that room with you.
Well, you got people in the audience too.
Okay, when did the Old Testament end?
See, that's a good. I'm glad you put that out there. You might be able to refresh me because I don't keep up with this.
You like Muhammad Ali?
I should.
You stick it in jab. You dancing, ain't you?
So punches at me like that.
When did the Old Testament end?
Off the top of my head right now, you caught me. That's what say you had. You really? I said I was sticking in jab. You caught me off guard. I was like, hold up, wait.
Ask the audience.
I'm on the road.
In the audience.
Roll for doping. Anybody in the audience want to give me a date off the top of my head, fresh off the top? I was gonna be wrong. I knew that. That's why I dodged the way. I'm buying time, huh? 400 BC. It's roundabout.
Which? All right. Let me condense the question. When does the Old Testament? What's the last book of the Old Testament?
Oh man, hold up. See, you just keep killing me tonight.
We got all these. Well, hey, you people in the audience. Somebody give us that answer.
You're killing me tonight.
What's the last book of the Old
Book
Testament?
of Malachi. The Book of Malachi.
Now I'm gonna mess with you, man. I set you up.
I know you did.
Anytime
I
I
ain't
ask
answer the
you a
question because
question,
I'm using
I know
sources.
I got you hungry. I know. I got
Because
my
you're catching me fast. I ain't got flashcards in
Was
front
that
of
the
me. You know what I
DJ?
mean?
Check it out.
No, it's got a green on the boards. I mean, the DJ sitting here looking at us like, okay, y'all handle
Check
that.
this out.
That's not my part of the business.
Now the way now Jesus said, Yeshua said, search the scriptures, for in them you think you have life, and it is they that testify of me. Well, at the time that he said that, what was the scriptures? From Genesis to Malachi. Why? There was no New Testament because they were still living it.
Right.
Well, no Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and there were no epistles, which is Greek or Greek for what? Letters. Had not been written yet. So the scriptures at that time was what? The law, the Psalms, and prophets from Genesis to Malachi. Now check this out.
Word.
Brother say, word. We don't believe in the New Testament. I say, brother, the New Testament don't begin until the book of Acts. Why? What is a testament, man? It's somebody's will, right?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot have a testament as long as the person is alive. That being Jesus or Yeshua. So when does the New Testament? Well, that's what Paul said. Paul said a testament is of no force as long as the person is alive. So when does the New Testament begin? After Yeshua was crucified. That's the book of Acts. That's why I set y'all up with the question.
Mm-hmm.
When does the New Testament begin? And as long as you got animal sacrifice, and they was offering up the sacrifices of Moses while Jesus or Yeshua was alive, you're technically in the Old Testament. Because when Yeshua died on the cross, animal sacrifice ceased. That's all I got.
Okay, I got you on that. I like how you put that in there. You
cool,
definitely,
man. That's the setup.
yeah. You threw one of your combinations at me and you landed. You hit me. You hit me with that one. You hit me with that. I feel like how I kind of hit you earlier with the Cold in the War joint. You were like, hold on, what you doing now, Mac? So this. Be coming forward. I see you, boy. You sharp. You sharp, man. I ain't mad at you for that. This whole I got this interesting thing I came across. So we're gonna go back into promotion for that. We're gonna show the people the website that we have obviously set up for people to go check out this class we have set up for November 15th and the 17th, which is Tuesday and a Thursday. The classes will be from at 7 p.m. Central Time because we're at Chicago man's time over there. You know what I mean? So we're going. So 7 your time is 8 my time, correct? Eastern time.
Right.
Based off of that, so basically Eastern time that's 8 o'clock. Your time that's 7 o'clock. Central. What's going to be the Western time? They're like 2-3 hours behind us, so
6 o'clock.
that's going to be
6 o'clock.
You show? Okay, all right. It's 6 o'clock. All right, so just 6 on the west side, 7 in the Midwest, 8 on the Eastern. For everybody that's tapping in.
What we looking for?
We're gonna show it in a minute.
We're looking for at least 50 students, and think about this: we charging $150 for an 8-week course. You can't get this. This course would cost something like $2,500 to $3,000 at a major institution. And even if you took that class at one of these major institutions, they're not going to teach you the truth. You're not going to have
actually with taxes. Just for people to know, and other things, it's like $160 to be tax relevant in this situation.
Shouldn't be no tax. But anyway,
I know you mean, but I'm just saying for what we got going on, so people know.
Yeah, the thing is, one thing that you guys are going to be getting in this course is the eyewitness account. None in the government-sponsored school system in the United States, the eyewitness is not allowed in the classroom.
Right.
You gonna get the eyewitness account, untampered artifacts. It's gonna be the best thing that ever happened to you.
Real talk. With the whole thing, he said the best thing gonna ever happen, boy. Right there, I'm telling you, that was Don Kingish right there, boy. Be coming. That was great. The promotion game right there was great. Don Kingish right there with that one right there. Boy, you promote like you watch a lot of boxing or something. What you got right here? Parallels? No. It's this one with the statue right here. It's the statue one. It's a statue. And then we're gonna go to the website. We're gonna show people where they can go check out where we got it set up for people to go register and all that good stuff too tonight. We ain't gonna hold you all night. You feel me? I just want to
I
get
need to
with
get
you. A
out
couple
of here.
questions.
Yeah.
I know. I got a couple questions. Just we gonna do a quick little promo run. This is
I'm gonna
people
have
to know. November 15th, November 17th, we live. What happened?
This is pineapple juice, letting y'all know.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't tell you that. But I have mango and some tequila in my cup. Yes, sir.
Okay.
3 hour run, 3 hour runs. You know, we got to keep it real for Sunday nights. Live in Music Media Lounge. Shout out to Fort Lauderdale 954. Everybody locally tapping in for this show. You might be on the road somewhere listening in through Music Media Lounge, wherever you might be in the nation, internationally, however, tapping into what we're doing right now. Live via thomasparty.com. I'm in the conversation with obviously author Lee Cummings of the Negro Question series, and obviously the Negro Question Paleo Hebrew Dictionary, a generational dictionary, and a classic. You know what I mean? Now this thing right here, you know, the Negro, because you got the Negro Question, so I felt this website fit me asking you the question from the fact of how they presented their information.
Hey, leave
with the
that
term
picture
Negro
up. Hey, leave that picture up. Now I want y'all. I'm gonna see what kind of eyes y'all got. What's wrong with that picture? Take a real close look at the picture. Tell me what you see. I want to see what kind of eyes you got. You and the rest of the guys in the studio.
I see a lot of black folks sitting there, or a few white folks.
Who have you ever seen a hockey game?
Of course.
Have you ever seen the face mask that the hockey the goalie has on? Look at the
Yeah.
pictures. Look at the pictures of the so-called white man. Don't he look like he got a hockey mask on? You ain't never seen a white man look like that, have you?
You mean part to do with the hat?
No,
The other dude
man,
got
all
froze
these
though.
guys
They got
do.
froze. That's what I'm seeing. They
Listen,
got froze,
bro.
though.
They've all been. That's the look you get when you paint white over black. It look like they got a mask on. They ain't no white man. You ain't never seen a white man look like that.
I'm seeing the froze on it. The froze.
Yeah, but I
The
don't want
white
you
man
to
with the fro. You know what I mean? That shit
think,
literally is a fro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
On
that's
both
cool. I
of
ain't
those
got no
men
problem
besides the
I
guy
ain't
with
got
the
no-
hat. You know what I mean?
I ain't got no problem with that. I'm just trying to show you where they painted these people that are black. They painted them white.
Yeah.
That's white paint, man. See, that's why I asked you again. See what
I know
kind
that's a great point. I'm glad you caught that.
Listen,
Your
man,
eye. These
listen,
no
man.
question.
Have you ever seen a white
I'm
man
listening to
look
you
like
now.
that?
Go ahead. Not with no fro like that. That's a fro. I'm just gonna go with it. It's an
I want to
afro.
focus on right. That's cool, but
Both of them. One got a smaller fro, the other one got a bigger
I'm
fro.
trying
It
to
look like
get
that's
you.
his
I'm
son.
trying to get you to focus on the paint. How they do?
I'm just being real. That's obvious to me.
I understand, but that's the look you get when you paint white over black. It look like that. You'll get it tomorrow.
No, I'll get it right now. I see the sideburns and everything. How buddy on the left side, you got the sideburns. The shit all coming down here like mine. Buddy too over here got the nice little beard right there, shaded in.
Eyes have
Yeah.
not been trained. You know, I had a brother that went to one of the most prodigious art schools in Chicago. He taught me how to look at artifacts and read artifacts. Prior to meeting that brother, I thought these was white folks. But then I said, wait, he said, man, that's white on black paint.
Real talk.
That's
I'm
all
glad
I
I brought it up. So these some Hebrew brothers that's putting this information out there. I'm using from people that will come from. So I want you to tell me your perspective about, because other group, not everybody that subscribes to be Hebrew, Israelite, Jew, Yehuda, you know what I mean, Abari, you know what I'm saying, all the different things you can use and derivatives of this situation, right? Scroll up. Let's get past the Negro part. That's why I used this, because I want you to see. I threw that at you for a purpose too. See, I knew you was going to be triggered by me using that this website situation. I like how they did that at the top. It says I'm trying to get to it though. Now come down, because we ain't got time to read this whole thing. Keep coming. They use a lot of strong concordance on this joint. Trying to get to it though. Don't let my eyes deceive me. Keep coming. Keep coming. I wish you had a search on page. It'll make my life easier. Huh? You do? You do on this one? ABARIY. All right, there we go. Just the word I want you to get to. Thank you. And it should be more though, right? There's other ones there on the page. Excuse me. All right, so this word right here, ABARIY, and it has a Hebrew accordance next to it. Are you familiar with the Hebrew accordance thing that we know a lot of folks say we gotta?
The blue.
I'm sorry.
Is it the blue book, blue Bible, and then the strong concordance?
Right. All right. So now that's the accordance they had next to the word. Now this the same premise pertains to the Abari. It's just AKA Hebrew. There's the scriptures. And if you attempt to understand the Eastern Hebraic culture using the conditioned Christian westernized mindset, most will lean toward their own understanding and because it feels right to them. When we fail to make the time to learn the mind of Abba, and this is Yahuwah, obviously, and by the way of humility, prayer, study, and pure Hebraic scripture, truth, and being willing to do unlearn, passed down lies, we can unknowingly blaspheme the truth and claim Allah, and it says the mighty one, but in English translation, the generic title God is co-signing our opinions and emotions. But go back to the Abari thing again. Give me another Abari. I want you to just, because it showed the Hebrew accordance. And this is a question that came up as well. No, just other, that word, that particular word. This particular word. What you think about it, Lee? So far with do you want me to go back to the Hebrew accordance part at the top? This is interesting to me. Because I know Abba Rishon. But this to me just another derivative of Ibri or Eber. To me, it's just funny how I say Abba Rishon, they say Ibri, Abba.
Well, that's Hebrew. But this right here, yeah, that's Hebrew. But this right here looks like he's saying Aber, because the Alif.
Abiri.
The Alif is the Alif, the letter A, is I in Aramaic.
Right.
But so what's the point though?
The reason why I'm asking is because of the fact that how everybody has the different variations and all these different groups are using these different situations dealing with the same language of dealing with the Aramaic. You know what I'm saying? I'm just showing different variations of people expressing their connection to the same thing. You see, they had Negro at the top. You know what I mean? I want people to understand that point of why your Negro questions in the class, so people know really we ain't trying to buck, we ain't trying to, you know what I mean, just throw something at people. You know what I mean? We obviously had to show with you. I want you to show the difference of why, like, what you thought the difference between these people saying this and, you know what I'm saying? That, because I understand what they meant by this, because it sounds like Abba Rishon to me, the different variations. But tell me what you thought. I want to use that as a comparison.
What we're doing is,
we can go to the website.
What we're going to do is, we're going to take actual stones, like the Moabite steel, Dead Sea Scrolls, Jeroboam seal, the Manasseh seal, Hezekiah seals. We're going to look at shekels. You're going to be looking at real-time artifacts that are currently being used in these doctorate level courses, and you'll find in museums. By the time you get through with my class, if you take that Hebrew course, you should be able to identify Israel on the ancient maps, King David, Omri, Gad, just to name a few. But that's the second course. The first course is critical because you're going to finally get the truth about the 13 colonies and the fact that the indigenous people that were here, according to Benjamin Franklin, he said all of America was Swarthy. It was all black. Man, you know, I published that book and I ain't looked at it since I published it. You know that?
That's a shame.
I don't have
I'm just
time.
talking shit to you, but it's your book.
That's a classic. Yeah, that's my man, the Jacobite.
It's the Jacobite, right?
That's my man.
See, even in your own joint, people would say, "This don't look like no Negro to me." You know that's what people gonna say to you, right? A lot
Well,
of people say
they
that
like they
when
you
I
know
show them this
they
picture.
liked a lot of his pictures,
He
but he
got
was
that.
see the thing
He
about
got
King
that fez
James.
on too.
King James was not an Englishman. He was a Scot.
That's
Y'all
the
didn't
crazy
know.
part about it.
Yeah, they always talk King James the first, the sixth.
You see the hat? My bad.
But read the verbiage. He's a Jacobite, and he's also king of the Hebrides. Who is that? Those are the Hebrews.
Hebrides. The Hebrew. No, that's a fact. It's what it says here, literally.
Tell you, man, listen, man, this ain't
No.
game.
It says that.
I said
Now
right
that's why people, and because of the, you go to the next page, and you obviously go into the Scotland joint right here. It's the Scotland
there you
joint.
go. And it gives an eyewitness description of the Scots in 1680. Was that 1695? It describes them as being.
1695.
Once you read the description of the people in Scotland, they was black, and King James was a Scot. King James, King Charles I, King Charles II, the Duke of York, King James II, and they was all black. They were black.
Well, it
Scots.
says that. Going off your actually, you're gonna be teaching a class on this,
Yeah.
dealing with the Aramaic, and people gonna ask these questions, and that's why this book I think is important, the referencing, so they can come ask you the questions where the references or your obviously you want to understand the documentation behind why you've obviously made these, and you say obviously scholar academic places. I literally just played a joint called "The Paradox Between the Jewish Indians" that was done at Brown University. You know what I'm saying? And it's about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm gonna send it to you actually too. And this particular situation though, on your page 92 in your dictionary, since you ain't opened it up, it says Western Islands of Scotland, 1695. The island of Skye, the people are of brown and black complexion. The island of Rhine are people of brown and black complexion. The island of Jura, the people are of black complexion. The island of Colonsay is the people are of black complexion. You see what I'm saying? So this is what you got. That's right underneath that document where you say the description of the Western Islands of the west of Scotland, circa 1695. And that's what's so crazy because I just read earlier how in 1685, King Louis XIV was already making the war codes in his colonies, such as Hispaniola and obviously Louisiana, that I just read about. And they were excluding Jews from slavery. That's what makes this all interesting to me. See what I'm saying? And like you said, the Scottish people ain't got nothing to do with what the French did to those folk that was in 1685, and they were still called Jews too. But John Mackey, as you have in your joint, obviously too, John Mackey. Anybody that didn't know,
Hey man, that piece he got in his hand on John Mackey. This guy was a Secret Service agent for 3 English kings and queens. And he gives an eyewitness description of the sons of King James. He describes King Charles I and his sons. And he describes them as black and swarthy. I'm going to tell y'all something. That is the beauty of the course that we're going to teach. You're going to see, whenever you ever seen a ship's manifest, they gave an eyewitness description of a slave. You haven't. We have to take their word for it. In fact,
that's real.
In fact, where are the slave ships from where the slave ships from the North Atlantic slave trade? They have not produced one slave ship. Not only have they not produced one slave ship, they have not produced one ship's manifest. But the Negro Question book series shows 2 or 3 manifests with eyewitness descriptions of these black Brits or black Scots.
Now, I got to ask you this too. Now, everything you said, because this is why I want people to, they need to take this class for this information for these black Europeans, because I think you have really broken down, even if they might not be religiously tied to any actual narrative of Hebrew or this indigenous shit. I think that people need to understand just the real history and what really took place in Europe before, when these European colonies were coming over into America, who was involved. I think that's very important for American culture to be updated on really what happened. I think you've done a very extensive with documentation to show some things, as obviously pointing out for anybody that's tapping in, because you're showing source-based information that you're showing. You know what I mean? You're not just talking out your ass, because we would never came to if you were just bullshitting me. You know what I
When the
mean?
13 colonies were started, when the brothers came down here, the indigenous people, and we're going to show you Benjamin Franklin's eyewitness account that all of America was swarthy. It was all
Swarthy
black.
in the mud.
And
Okay.
and I know if you ain't gonna believe me, I know you're gonna believe Benjamin Franklin.
That part. Well, maybe not these days, because people are turning all man, listen, this thing
So,
going a whole lot of ways.
so the question now is, well, who is this white Indian? He's an imposter.
Question. Oh, stop there. Are you familiar with James Adair?
I think I heard the name.
Can we pull up that joint? This right here. We're gonna move forward. We're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna show the website after this.
Yeah,
James Adair.
they moved into the land after they committed genocide against the black Indians. The whites moved into the land and assumed their identity and started thinking they was Indians.
All right, so boom. This is, I use this clip because it was the easiest one to pull up for anybody that hasn't, researched James Adair in different situations that he wrote, saying that he was amongst the Indians and how he accounted for it. I think his website kind of went over a lot of it, so I used it as a source, you know what I mean, just to top the conversation. Can you scroll up a little bit? It's showing opinions hanging off the headdress. I want to actually get this too. You there, Lee?
Yeah, I'm sitting right here.
All right, cool. No, I couldn't see it for a minute. Make a show. This is in his book, Meshiva Israel, written in 1650, the scholar Menashe ben Israel suggested that a brand of South and Central American Indians were a remnant of the Jews sent into exile by King Assyria and from the 10 lost tribes. His theory did not gain popularity among the rabbis of his time. So, you know how you talked about the Assyrians kicking out the Jews? I know you've mentioned this before.
Right.
What's your thoughts before I go to James Adair? Because James Adair is the next paragraph, and we can keep it moving. But I just wanted to ask you that question. You look like well, you see, I'm hitting you tonight. You getting tired?
The script, Deuteronomy 28:68 said that Israel will be scattered to every nation under the sun. Hey, North America qualifies as one of those, every nation. I believe it.
Okay. I understand that, and everybody has a right to their creed or faith in this situation. But this guy did, and I'm always keeping it open for everybody to know on the platform, listening to us and everything. When they reading their own history, check out these people. This is the notion was revived when James Adair, an Irish trader who lived among the Indians for over 40 years, wrote in his book, The History of the American Indians, published in 1775. This is around time of the American Revolutionary War, right? And it says, from the most accurate observations I could make in the long time I traded among the Indians of America, I was forced to believe them lineally descended from the tribes of Israel. I mean, this is going into what, you be talking about, right? James Adair was saying it then. I'm just, pointing that out.
Yeah,
I
need that this article. So if you could
okay, I'm
email
gonna
it
send that
me.
to you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna send that to you. I'm gonna send that to you. It's a lot of stuff. I've been hearing, and that's why the debate's so heavy about out of all the different situations: Egyptians, Atlanteans, Sumerians, with Babylonians. The actual most information from 1567, obviously going back to 1492, even like you say, Columbus and all that stuff. These people who we would call Jews, from the 1685 codes to the 1492. All of this is pointing to these groups of people, and again, it just don't stand for what some people are saying, and not to fit into a narrative. This Negro mixing in with the indigenous or Gentile people that would be aboriginal to the land before they came in contact with the nations of people that you're calling the Jew or Yehudi or Hebrew or however situation you want to use is to deal with this variation. I mean, this still. Only the James Adair, I'm gonna send this to you, but we're gonna keep it moving. I just wanted to, again,
Hey,
point this out too. We've been researching, let you know
Can we come
I
back
know you.
tomorrow
I know
night?
you're tired.
Let's
Oh
finish it
man, listen here.
tomorrow.
I'm gonna just do it like this. You good?
Let's
I
do part
want
2
everybody
here
to show the
tomorrow.
website real quick. We're gonna get out of here. No, I'm gonna let you slide. We're gonna keep it moving, but I want to let people see at
Yeah,
least
and
that
then
we're gonna
hey,
show the website, and then we can get out of here. I know you're tired. I know you're tired.
and go to the Negro Question Bookstore, man. We got everything y'all need over there. And then we're gonna give some books away for this class. But the
Yeah,
Negro
we're gonna
Question
have to.
Bookstore, Negro Question Bookstore, Lee Cummings, go on over there and buy some books from us, man. We don't. That's why we don't get funded from the state and the government. Our funding comes from the sale of books. And it's the NegroQuestionBookstore.com. And we got ebooks, we got everything. But anyway, make a long story short, this class, you can't see it that you spend $150. What you got, how you got to view this is that you saving yourself $3,000 to $4,000 because that's what you would pay at one of these institutions, and it's still not going to teach you, give you the eyewitness account. So I'm gonna sign off. I've been up since like 5 o'clock this morning,
I
and
know you
hopefully,
sound tired. You almost
yeah,
forgot
let's do
about me
part 2
today.
tomorrow, man.
I can't. We don't come up like that though. We don't just be in it, right, God? We don't. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. We don't be just jumping on YouTube like that though. We just be doing on Mixcloud. Or you know that. Lee. Man, you know we don't. I mean, I wish I could just run it back. My schedule might not permit me to be sitting in this place like this tomorrow,
All right,
like that, or at my house doing it.
I'm gonna do a press release.
Yes.
But we should have at least. I'm thinking we should have anywhere from 50 to 100 students. That's
Yeah,
gonna be. That's the goal.
we have a direct link through us to be able to do some things and to get some people some extra stuff and the same promotion for this class for those who want to get involved on our side our club social club. They want to take their class, and obviously we're promoting it to the public, like you said. We're showing the date, we're showing that we have it on our website. You can go to our news, you know what I mean, and in the news will definitely get you, you know what I mean, tapped into this information. And actually by tomorrow you'll be able to tap in through the same news link, and it will send you straight to where you can register for the class too, as well through us, as well as other sources that will have it available, like Eventbrite, which will be this week, and other places that we will be promoting for anybody that wants to get involved with either one of the classes. November 15th, November 17th. That's a Tuesday and a Thursday starting, and at 7 o'clock Central Time, your time. Man, thank you for joining with us. And I know we've been keeping you late night, you tired and shit. I mess with you though. We'll talk tomorrow.
If you had not called me, I would have blew the mission completely.
I know you sound out of it when I called you. You were like, huh?
Man,
What? I'm like, yeah, man, that's what it is. We already, the flyer went out already though.
Well, you know my schedule. I get up every morning at 4 and I start doing research.
Man, listen, I know you hard working. Man.
You got no choice, man. I talk a lot. When you talk a lot of smack, you better read a lot because they're gonna try you.
Trust me, I be reading your shit. That's why I'm trying you right now. Just letting people know that we ain't just going along to get along. I'm coming at you from a source standpoint.
Hey man, you talking to the book, okay?
For sure, talking to the book, the tree.
All right, Doc. All right, peace.
All right, now. Appreciate it. Peace. He looked tired, ain't it? He was wore out tonight. He hit me in the ropes earlier, but I had stamina. God, you heard me? Yeah. Yeah, so we got a little time. I'm gonna hit one thing though. Next week, we do have Duce York that's joining us. Like you seen right last week, we had Jai York, that's JAIYORKE York.com, right? And next week we got this York, is the one that's the son, one of the siblings, but this is the son that I bumped into, and he agreed to come on the show to speak about his father, known as Dr. Malachi Z. York. You know what I'm saying? And some of the obviously things that have been addressed or questions that have been asked. And he said, I'm standing in front of whatever is coming at me. So, we thought it would be a great conversation to have out of respect for his family and what he wants to express about what his perspective is. Like what we see, when Kanye what he's going through right now, God, right? Ain't nobody giving the platform to speak. They let them tell their side and let them just say what they need to say. And sometimes people need that. You know what I mean? From your own people, like, yo, man, let you say what you need to say, man. Let people hear it from your own shit. You know what I mean? Put it on the record. Sometimes people don't give people that reach out to be like, go ahead, man. Go ahead, people, because we ain't biased, ain't gonna get nothing out of it. or at least getting people the truth, from, or at least be able to see it from another clearer perspective from what you might have been told from these same media situations that you see saying things about the brother you know, we call Ye, saying he crazy and shit. I mean, I don't give a damn, but I don't want to agree with certain things and everything a man do. But people vote for presidents and say picking the lesser of two evils. And I surely ain't going to call the man that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody human. He ain't perfect. I ain't looking for no perfect man. We ain't looking for no idol worship, false prophets, or nothing over here. You see what I'm saying? But I happen to have this book. I'll show you how to enjoy it. It's called The L's Holy Torah. That the guest next week, the son, his father, it says translated by Dr. Malachi Z. York for the HTM Holy Tabernacle Ministries. This is you know, they say he's locked up, I think. I mean, that's what I've been told. This is how long this book been out, but this is in the Torah. You know, Lee Cummings says Aramaic in his dictionary is to be looked at. Matter of fact, crazy part, right? That it has the holy matrimony. If anybody's ever seen how these joints are built in the Torah, because I keep mine fresh. I ain't written in it like that. Nothing like that from when I got it. Back then, I've had it for a minute. Shows you how the real joints look. Got the death records on it. You know what I mean? Of the body of man. If anybody didn't know. So anyways, you know what I mean? In this joint, though, getting straight to it, he says in this joint, this is from Dr. Malachi York when I got this book back then, the Tetragrammaton, everything he talks about, that, you know, this Torah was originally written in Aramaic. He said that. Everything else that it was written in, that's afterwards, blah, blah, blah. And he wrote that back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? This book right here. Feel me? What they call the Torah, they say, you know what I mean? So when I be seeing people using the KJV and different things, I'm like, but why aren't we using the Torah if you're supposed to be into this joint? And why are we using the language that your people were speaking based off of what you're professing off of now? And that's what threw me off, really. You know what I mean? With the whole thing. Like, well, you know what I mean, God? Like, why is it that you ain't go back to the Torah? You feel what I'm saying? And that's what you're professing faith-wise to be. You know what I mean? Either way. Just let you know, though, you can't buck. You know what I mean? We got, man, listen, non-biased, even back to man, got all these pictures in here. And this is from back in the day. In the book. This is in his translation of Torah, different pictures. This ain't nothing new. But still, you know, when people be sleeping thinking we don't like read or research certain things, we've had sources from different perspectives, you know what I mean? Say these things, it's nothing new. But still, we're going to play a clip. We're going to play a clip when we get out of here, Blaze. Obviously, go to the website, commonparty.com, the news channel, and obviously, if you go to our social club joint, we actually have it hosted there as well, where you can sign up and obviously get access to our book club, included into this class situation we got going on with Lee Cummings, and also to the trivia. If you get into our situation, we're going to actually put you into the trivia, where if you pay attention to what we do on Clubhouse and certain things, you might win some prize and cash and different giveaways and stuff as well. You know what I'm saying? So tap in with us. You know what I mean? Tap in with us. Matter of fact, before you give me this joint, what Slim Thug has said real quick though. Can I get Slim Thug to and then we gonna go straight to the mix. What Slim Thug has said, God, about everything going on with this industry thing. Thought it was interesting because you know he was doing his thing in Houston. And he was like, yo man, that we had to fall back, you know what I mean? Pay attention. Keep your head on the swivel. That's what we say down here in the Maroon Town territory.
Matrix, the book based on African spirituality and mythology from ancient Kemet or Egypt.
I be using the YouTube joint when I find it was a good one. He caught
The book shows that all Western religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, plagiarize from African spiritual systems What up, y'all?
Oh, yeah,
It's your man
get
Sam, and
yeah,
here at
get the
Viral Hip
report.
Hop News. Go ahead and hit that like button. Smash that notification bell. And if you're not
Smash
subscribed to
that
Viral Hip Hop News,
notification.
ladies and gentlemen, what are you waiting for? Subscribe right now to the brand. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. And
Give me a
let's
shout
get
out. It's just
to
clip.
work. All right, so I dropped a video maybe about 8 or 9 days ago with Slim Thug talking about the industry, talking about basically everything Kanye West was talking about prior to Kanye West saying it, and then we seen the whole shitstorm that followed.
Prior.
If you have not seen that video, I will put a card up top somewhere throughout this video, so make sure you check that out and see the video. Well, Slim Thug doubled down on his comments and went even further. If you have a problem with what Kanye West is doing and you are a hip-hop artist or you are within the culture and you are giving him criticism, Slim Thug has something to say to you. I ain't going to say protect him because a lot of people went absolutely insane when I said protect him and didn't watch my whole video and understand why I put that in my title. If you're sitting there questioning, go to 407 on my last video and you'll see my explanation. But let's hear what Slim Thug had to say in regards to Kanye West. Let's hear what Slim Thug had to say in regards to the culture who is criticizing Kanye West. And I'll come back on my 1, 2. Let's go.
If you don't own a radio station you talk on and white people make more money off of you talking than you make, if you don't own your own music you put out and white people or Jewish people make more off of the albums you put out, if you don't own the business you do, anything dealing with the culture, whether it's a club, whatever it is, if you have a boss who is not of the culture and making more off the culture than you are making, then Kanye West is not the coon, you are. You need to understand you have to check yourself and fix your position first before you talk to a person who actually owns themselves. Because a lot of y'all don't own yourself and cool with other cultures making more off of the culture than you. And that make you the loser.
And that makes
That's
you
real.
the coon. That
We gonna
makes
get out of
you
here.
the loser.
I thought that
That's
was a
coming
very
from
important
Slim.
message. People getting caught up in the wrong parts of this, understanding what I think is going on. I mean, you made it to a certain point. People want to get into all the by parts of got nothing to do with the culture. You know what I mean? What's being said. And if you might have a different ideology or different understanding or don't have a genealogy tied to any of these people in this situation, what they call black or, but you understand that word Negro Obama threw out. You know what I'm saying about what was that? It's been now 6-7 years since he's been in office. So in the time frame of what we're dealing with, and he threw out the word Negro, and now you got a person like Kanye having his perspective, his faith, and his belief, what he might be tied to, that lawfully fits in certain narratives, and now people are tripping. I think it's crazy, but still, I ain't crazy either. But we just show what other people saying too. Being one way, just look in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said. They said he was crazy too. Ye changed his name, right? To Ye. Prince did the same thing. He gave you a symbol. Did you pay attention to the signs and symbols? Hit us with some music, man. Let's get out of here, man. Next week, like I said, we got Jooz, York, son of Malachi Z. York, tapping in. From my understanding, it's been confirmed. So we're going to plan for that, and that's what we're doing. So tap in with us tomorrow. Next week, because Lee Cummings had me thinking tomorrow he want to get back on. He's sleepy. But next week, Sunday, 9 o'clock live, the podcast, sitting on the Autonomous Party couch. You know what I mean? We got Jooz York pulling up on us for the conversation. And that's the day before Halloween. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, tap in with us. It's gonna be a very good conversation. Till next time, peace and love. Psalms to y'all. If anybody that had a good weekend, hope you did. As you went through that gateway of the end of the week into this new one. You was on the sun, now tomorrow you landing on the moon. Blaze.
Yeah, you listening to Super Blaze. Let's go.
Bang, 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 bang,
DJ Super Blaze.
My
My mama was raised in the era when clean water was only served to the fairer skin. Doing clothes, you would've thought I had help, but they wasn't satisfied unless I picked the cotton myself. You see, it's broke, nigga, race him. That's that don't touch anything in the stove. And it's rich, nigga, race him. That's that come in, please buy more. What you want? A Bentley, fur coat, a diamond chain? All you blacks want all the same thing. You stuck. My mama was raised in the era when clean water was only served to the fairer skin. Doing clothes, you would've thought I had help, but they wasn't satisfied unless I picked the cotton myself. You see, it's broke, nigga, race him. That's that don't touch anything in the stove. And it's rich, nigga, race him. That's that come in, please buy more. What you want? A Bentley, fur coat, a diamond chain? All you blacks want all the same thing. Used to only be niggas. Everybody playing, spending everything on Alexander Wang, new slaves. You see his leaders and his followers, but I'd rather be a dick than a swallower. You see his leaders and his followers, but I'd rather be a dick than a swallower. I throw these Maybach keys, I wear my heart on the sleeve. I know if we the new slaves, I see the blood on the leaves. I see the blood on the leaves. I see the blood on the leaves. I know that we the new slaves, I see the blood on the leaves. They throwing hate at me, want me to stay at ease. Fuck you and your corporation, y'all niggas can't control me. I know that we the new slave, I know that we the new slave. I'm about to wild the fuck out, I'm going Bobby Boucher. I know that pussy ain't free, you niggas pussy ain't me. Y'all throwing contracts at me, you know that niggas can't read. Don't want some Maybach keys, fucking say la vie. I know that we the new state, y'all niggas can't fuck me. Y'all niggas can't fuck with yay, y'all niggas can't fuck with yay. I move my family out the country so you can't see where I stay. So go and grab the reporters so I can smash their records. Sit there, confused with some bullshit like the New World Order. Meanwhile the DEA teamed up with the CCA. They try and lock niggas up, they try and make new state. See, that's that property on prison, get your piece today. They probably all in the Hamptons, bragging about what they made. Fuck you and your Hampton house, I fuck your Hampton spouse. Came on a Hampton blouse, and then I Hampton mouth. Y'all about to turn shit up, I'm about to tear shit down. I'm about to air shit out. Now what the fuck they gonna say now?
So let's get too hard again. Too hard again. Too hard.
Chris Cage, one song only. So I ball so hard, motherfuckers wanna find me. But first, you gotta find me. What's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Can you please remind me? Ball so hard, it's crazy. Y'all don't know that, don't face. And that's we go 0 for 82 when I look at you like you a gravy. Ball so hard, square. We ain't even pro be here. Fall so hard since we here. It's only right that we be fair. Psycho, I'm liable to go Michael. Take your pick. Jackson, Tyson, Jordan, Game 6. Fall so hard, got a broke clock. Rollies that don't tick tock. All the Mars that's losing time, hidden behind all these big rocks. Fall so hard, I'm shocked too. I'm supposed to be locked up too. You escape, but I escape. You be in Paris, get passed up too. Fall so hard, let's get faded. Liberties for like 6 days. Gold bottles, soul models, spilling ace on my sick days. Fall so hard, let's behave. Just might let you meet, yay. Shot towns, B-rolls, moving the next BK. Fall so hard, my wanna find me.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Fall so hard, wanna find me.
That's great. That's great. That's great. She said, yeah, can we get married at the mall? I said, look, you need to crawl for your bar. Come and meet me in the bathroom style and show me why you deserve to have it all.
Fall so hard.
That's crack. That's crack. Ain't it, Jay?
Fall so hard.
What she order? What she order? Fish fillet.
Fall so hard.
Your whip so cold. So cold. This whole thing.
Fall so hard.
Act like you ever be around my like this a game. Who's your girl? Grab her hand. That bitch, she don't wanna dance. She's my friends, but I'm in France. I'm just saying, Prince Williams ain't do it right if you ask me. Cause I was him, I would've
Mary Kate and Ashley.
Was Gucci my was Louis my killer? Was drugs my dealer? What's that jacket, Margilla? Doctors say I'm the illest, cause I'm suffering from realness. Got my captors in Paris, and they going gorillas, huh?
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
No, it's not. It
gets the people going.
Fall so hard, guys wanna find me. Fall so hard, guys wanna find me.
Man called that savage at the microphone stand, as I would say.
Disco.
And hear me now. Them youth nowadays, them a burn the weed, and them know what them a do. So here when me I tell you say, when I man burn this weed, yeah, it make I man meditate and itate and cooperate and everywhere. You see me? My DJ, I talk to them. Shabu, make me go so real. Go in there, you know me DJ.
Roll up another one, pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name. Roll up another one, pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name.
Don't wanna feel none.
In my name.
Oh God. Oh. Clear the runway, baby. Look in the sky, forgive me if I was distant yesterday. Not on my mind, not on my heart, sometimes too much to say. I gotta say, lying above the clouds, then down there, living in someone's grave. Hey, wait, my nigga is cool, past the J. You know I be damn if I is or damn if I ain't, so I might as well be blazed. You smoke to burn your fingertips, bitches, or roast to me halfway. Just cause you used to stressing don't mean it's supposed to be that way.
Roll up another one, pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name. Roll up another one, pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name.
Preparation for your destination's always best. The game comes with a lot of stress. Got them feeling entitled, I guess. Lost of respect for the rap vets that wanna live life normal and shit. No, I ain't got time to digest the mind state of someone who invades somebody else's private moments. I might be chilling with my fam, so no offense. Got carried away. Frustration hard to hold in. Wasn't like this in the beginning. Everyone seemed happy to see somebody else winning. Couple fools we don't fuck with. For the most part, we chillin'. Lost living.
Another one. Pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name. Roll up another one. Pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name.
up in the name of Spitter. Because I'm still living in the midst of these killings, still thriving is magnificent. I've kicked it with some homies within minutes, they've no longer existed. I'm paranoid of getting caught slipping, cause these little boys is ignorant. I'm a triple OG, I breathe that positive energy. But if it be them or me, it'll be them, you best believe. Got a son who need me, I need him too, that's my lit G. I read them stories, he fall asleep, then I hop in my 63. I drop the top, feel the breeze, hitting switches, smoking weed. Life is a movie, we all share the lead. Roles where my life been, GTA with all the cheat codes, infinite life, luxurious rides. Aim high, nigga, why can't I?
Another one, pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name. Roll up another one, pour out in my name. Fire up that shit in my name. In my name.
So I smoke till I know. Right now I don't wanna feel none. I roll up more just to cope, y'all. Too smart to act none. I smoke till I know.
I'm on my weed. I meditate.
So I roll up more just to cope, y'all.